Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Sam Slays. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Today is October 9th, 2023. Hope you're well. Hope you're chilling. We have a stacked show for you guys tonight, for sure. A ton of submissions, a couple of discussion segments. We're going to talk about weekly recap stuff, what's coming on Music Mondays. Lots of really good stuff incoming, to be honest with you. But let's talk. So, you guys know the drill. Let's hop into some weekly recap stuff. Let's talk about what happened at Music Mondays over the last week or so. And then we'll continue on. So, weekly recap from last week till now. Had a relatively regular start to the week, and then we had dropped a brand new YouTube upload, and that was from episode 141 last week. That's where we discussed how to avoid common social media scams. That was a question that a viewer actually came in and wanted to see us discuss. So we had discussed it last week, and that segment is currently live on the channel. So if you missed it, definitely go check it out. And if you checked it out, huge shout out to you guys over there on YouTube for showing us some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe we're like 7 subs away from 220. We're well underway for sure. I think we're at 213 right now on the Music Mondays channel. So if you're not subbed, definitely go check out the channel and subscribe if you like what you see. New uploads every Thursday and Saturday. That takes us to Friday, because we had a pretty major Friday. 2 brand new articles dropped on musicmondays.com. One was a article by Jaded, actually. Jaded's been killing it on the Music Mondays writing side of things. Jaded not only is cranking out pieces, but cranking out pieces with artists that truly deserve it as well, which obviously is what we're all about. But the way that Jaded has been doing their interviews has just been really, really solid. Like, really, really fucking solid. So definitely go show Jaded some love and check out their new piece on musicmondays.com. After that, we had dropped a major piece about the Midwest press conference recently. So the Midwest press conference was a press conference hosted by 1824, which is a underground media platform and Universal Music Group, aka Sony. I got the chance to sit in a press conference with Arctic and Ray Lowe of the Music Mondays staff team. We had a couple of questions for Midwest, and we basically wrote a recap about the whole event. It took us a while to get the footage back and some things for approval, but Arctic and Ray cranked out and transcribed a whole written article about the press conference. So definitely go check that out if you missed it, and go show Arctic and Ray some love, and huge shout out to Mariah for giving us that opportunity. Really, really cool thing to do, man, because Midwest is somebody that I personally watched go from pretty much nothing to something. I worked with Midwest relatively closely in the early UVC days from like 2018, 2019. And then 2020 kind of happened, and everything got really insane for the underground. So Midwest Come Up was one of the most natural, but also like a really big W for the underground in the aspect of, it really proves that anybody can do this if they really want to, right? Like, they won't let anything stop them. They're going to be consistent. They're going to work hard, and they're going to get it by any means. And Midwest was definitely one of those people. So it's really nice to be able to get some clarity from Midwest and really prove that, like, you can really do this shit. Like, everybody kind of opened the doors in the underground for a reason. People like Bones and Denzel Curry and Raider Clan and so many other people like really opened the doors for a lot of people. So products like Midwest are just proof that it's totally possible. So that's a really solid read. That's a really, really solid read. So definitely go check that out and go show Arctic and Ray some love for sure. And again, huge shout out to Mariah for that opportunity. Yeah, so two banger fucking pieces out on musicmonies.com right now. Episode 141 of the Music Money's podcast is available on our YouTube channel and all audio platforms. So if you listen to podcasts on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anything like that, the Music Money's podcast is available over there as well. But it's always available on our YouTube channel. So episode 141, if you missed it last week, is available everywhere. Huge shout out to everybody that was involved, and huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed love, and submitted to episode 141. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you ran it up on YouTube, huge shout out to you guys. But huge shout out to everybody that just kind of plays the podcast wherever, man, because we truly appreciate it. SoundCloud Sunday, volume 103 is available right now on our SoundCloud. That was curated by myself and Avanko. Waterfalls is currently on vacation, so they had to take a couple weeks off from curation. So we'll get a little bit more Waterfalls tracks relatively soon, but they're enjoying their vacation right now. So huge shout out to Water. But SoundCloud Sunday Volume 103 is available right now, and that is curated by myself and Avanko, our Music Mondays staff curator. If you missed it, definitely go check that out. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted and showed love to SoundCloud Sunday. Now, many of you know SoundCloud Sunday is also for everybody. That's not really a playlist for just artists. You should be sharing that playlist with your friends. You should be sharing that playlist with your family and anybody that's like, oh my god, I need new music. Or you're like, yo, you know, here's a playlist you should check out that like I'm involved with, or X, Y, or Z. So definitely share SoundCloud Sunday if you're ever involved or you get placed. But like I said, volume 103 is available right now. Go show that some love. Let's see here. So I believe that takes us to Sunday night, and last night we actually put up a post showing some love to our Patreons. Our September 2023 Patreon appreciation is live right now. Huge shout out to all of our Patreons that stuck through September and showed us some love. We have something pretty major in the works when it comes to our Patreon and things like that. Couple of things that are kind of, you know, in the background that I'm waiting on. But once a couple things are confirmed, we're going to be doing something involving the Patreon relatively soon. So everybody who's currently pledged will get a huge thank you for kind of bringing us to where we're at right now. So that'll either be happening by the end of the year or at the start of 2024. So be on the lookout for some Patreon stuff for sure. But September 2023 appreciation is available right now. Go show all the Patreons some love. So that takes us right up until now, today, Monday, October 9th. Dude, these last 2 months have just fucking flown by, man. They really have. They really. It's kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. It was just like August through like right now is just like one big fucking month, bro, I swear. But yeah, so today's October 9th, 2023. That was your weekly recap, and now we're going to talk about a little bit what's coming on Music Mondays for the next couple weeks, and a whole lot of really good stuff. So you guys know the drill. Music Mondays is currently recruiting. Per usual, we are always recruiting, but during each show, I'll stop and talk about that for a little while, and we'll talk about Music Mondays staff roles. So, Music Mondays is recruiting. We are on the hunt for writers, journalists, curators, designers, media personalities, anybody that wants to do short form, long form content creators, and things like that. We basically have a very loose schedule, but I broke down all of the roles on our YouTube channel right now. So if you want a more detailed guide on what all those roles entail, definitely go check out that YouTube upload. It's relatively new. So definitely go view that if you're interested in a lot of those roles. But all those roles are pretty self-explanatory. And we're pretty much always recruiting, so feel free to send us your pitch, your portfolio, or your resume, and we'll be happy to have that conversation. And again, you don't necessarily need to have a resume or a portfolio, but of course, would definitely help. And if you're kind of like new to the space, new to media, and you're kind of unsure how any of this works, we'll be happy to explain anything to you as well. So definitely shoot us a message or an email or a DM if that's something you're interested in. So that takes us to exclusives. Now, many of you know that we are on the hunt for SoundCloud exclusives. YouTube as well, but mostly SoundCloud. If you're interested in getting a unreleased track hosted on the Music Money SoundCloud and promoted on all of our social media for free, definitely send us a pitch or send us a DM, and we'll be happy to have that conversation with you. We only are interested in the SoundCloud version, so if you want to go drop the version on all stores afterwards, or you want to go drop it on your YouTube channel, that's fine. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version to not only help feed our audience and grow our audience, but to help build up an archive and really promote some of our community in another light. So again, if that's something you're interested in, definitely get in contact with us, and we'll be happy to talk with you about that. Same applies to YouTube as well. We are on the hunt for YouTube exclusives. If you're interested in getting audio, visuals, lyric videos, a music video hosted on our YouTube channel of 200 plus subscribers, we are down. Feel free to, again, send us a message with your idea or your unreleased piece of content. And of course, unreleased. We're not interested in hosting something that's already live. So just keep that in mind. And then you're free to do whatever else you want afterwards as well. So no worries there, my friends. Now that those two things are kind of out of the way and talked about, let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays for the next couple of weeks and this week as well. So expect our monthly content to continue. Everything from our YouTube uploads to our playlists will be getting updated as well. So Feature Friday, Workshop Wednesday, the breakdown, and Behind the Merch will all be on the table again for new episodes and new everything else. So keep your eyes peeled for new editions of those on our YouTube channel. And again, make sure you subscribe because we have new uploads every Thursday and Saturday. Monthly playlist stuff. So obviously SoundCloud Sunday will continue. Everything else will kind of go according to plan when it comes to weekly stuff. But as far as our monthly playlists go, Underground Classics, the monthly, and Across the Pond with Aster will all be making a return this month. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for those. And make sure you follow us on SoundCloud because we have like 4 active playlists at the moment, along with just a wide library of exclusives, man. A lot of old classics, a lot of new stuff, a lot of really, really good stuff over there on our SoundCloud. So definitely go check out our SoundCloud and show that some love if you haven't. In case you missed it, monthly and our written pieces will also be not only returning but continuing as well. We recently put out the June edition of In Case You Missed It Monthly, so we'll be working on the July edition here relatively shortly, along with the August and September editions. Many of you know that In Case You Missed It Monthly is one of our larger kind of bigger graphical and written pieces that we do each month, so sometimes they do take quite a while. And then Aster had a vacation, so graphics were put on hold for a while. It was a whole big thing, so you can expect the July and the September editions to be coming relatively soon. In the meantime, definitely go check out In Case You Missed It Monthly June edition, because that's live right now on our website and all of our socials. Definitely go show that some love. So a couple of major things coming up. So I'm in the talks with recruiting a couple of people before next year for the Music Money staff team in 2024. We'll be readjusting some roles and a couple of content pieces to hand it into next year relatively strong. Just because, I want to start off 2024 really hard. And we're going to be focusing on tying up a couple loose ends and really figuring out how we want to approach things going into the new year and kind of deal with Cyberfest 2 stuff and a lot of that other stuff before next year as well. So with that said, make sure you're following us on socials at All Music Mondays to stay up to date with all of our latest events and information. So that was your weekly recap, and that was everything that's coming on Music Mondays within the next week or so. Because of course you can come back to the show each week for weekly updates. So before we get into some reactions and reviews, I have a pretty interesting discussion segment here that I kind of wanted to bring to the table. Now, this is a very like specific kind of question in the aspect that it's for more of the newer audience and more of the newer artists within the underground, and kind of a very like interesting topic. So let's get into it. So many of you know each week Music Mondays kind of has these discussion segments where we talk about tips and tricks, you know, underground kind of politics and things you should or shouldn't do, whether they be larger, kind of smaller topics, things like that. So this week we'll be talking about when you should charge for features as a new artist. So, many of the established artists and many of the kind of solo independent artists that already have their own following and have their own success kind of pave their own way, and they kind of know what they're doing, right? They kind of have everything on lock. They kind of work how they work, and they do business how they do business. And I think that's fine. This video is definitely not for anybody who's already established and kind of has their own way of doing things. This is for kind of the newer artists, the ones that are, you know, have only been making music for 1 or 2 years. You're a new producer, you're a new artist, you're a new kind of musician on the scene, right? And you're trying to promote yourself, and you're like, oh shit, like, how do I get features, this, that, and the third? Should I charge for features? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here today. When should you charge for features as a brand new artist? And I guess by extension, a brand new producer as well, right? Because you'll see a lot of producers kind of, they'll like want to charge for instrumentals like right off the rip, and it's a whole big thing. So let's talk. So when it comes down to charging money, right, and kind of charging for features, I know that the idea of it definitely seems fruitful at first, but in reality, especially if you're a new artist, like everything I'm about to say is geared towards a new artist. If you're kind of an established artist, this isn't for you. But if you're kind of a newer person on the scene, and you know, you're kind of new to like internet culture and communities and things like that, when it comes to charging for features, I, to put it bluntly, wouldn't. I wouldn't charge for a feature, to be honest with you, because early on, in your kind of journey as a musician and in your career, if you want to go like super serious, networking and kind of collaborating is way more important right now for you as an artist than kind of making like 20 bucks on the side, because music isn't going to make you money for quite some time, right? Like, I don't really care who you are. Most people don't really see any kind of money in music for quite some time, right? You really have to hammer down and really prove yourself. So early on, I definitely would just ditch that idea like off rip. You could definitely make a couple bucks off like streaming and shit, but nothing that's like gonna pay the bills. So when it comes to really charging for a verse or charging for a beat, and you have like 100 followers, you're brand new, you're just posting your music, you know, you have like 2 or 3 songs out, absolutely not. Definitely don't charge for features, because obviously people are going to look at you like you're crazy, but you don't want to pass up potential networking and collaboration opportunities. I think that's more important than making money, and it's definitely more important than making yourself kind of look thirsty to make money, right? So it's kind of a win-win if you just kind of focus on the collaboration aspect of things. And especially if you're a producer, right? Like, you don't want to be making 10, 20 bucks off just one instrumental. Like, you want to find artists that actually want to hop on your instrumentals. You want to find artists to actually make fucking songs with. You want to find people that are new as well. So you guys are kind of like on the same level. And same thing for artists. Like, you want to find producers that are just willing to work and they're just looking to get their name out there rather than try to make a quick buck off of things. And like it's like not really about like working for free. It's more so about like working for the right opportunities. Cuz like you can work for free as long as you're not like being abused and like taken advantage of. Like, I think a lot of people associate working for free with being taken advantage of. Like, if you have good opportunities in front of you, but you're not going to get paid, and you feel like it's good for you, take that shit. Absolutely take that shit. Internships, all of it. Because, bro, not everything is about money. Especially in like these kinds of communities where like your name is worth more than like a lot of your product early on. I definitely think that like you should be taking opportunities with caution, but as long as you're keeping yourself safe and you're just kind of like, okay, like this is a good opportunity for me, this person wants to work, no money involved, let's just do it for the art. I think there needs to be way more of that, and especially for the newer guys. I think the newer guys kind of get that fucked up as to where it's like, oh, you should never like work for free, and if you're good at something, never do it for free, and free. It's a very kind of like weird mindset for some people, but some people also get it though. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that work very fucking hard and really like go above and beyond to like prove themselves and then become like a trustworthy person to do business with, right? Like, there are artists out there that do great off selling features, but it's not because they started off selling features, you know what I mean? Like, they have their own hits, they have their own connections, they have their own platform, right? So you kind of have to build up to that. It's not really like a overnight process. It's very much a slow burn. And like, yeah, sure, you're gonna have these like one-off cases of people going viral and things like that, but for the most part you're gonna have to work towards that. You know what I mean? Just because going viral like that is pretty rare, but two, it's like a lot of those people aren't prepared with content anyways because it's so unexpected. So say you did go viral, you want to be prepared for it, you want to be ready, you know what I mean? So that's why you should always like work with the like mentality of like you just shouldn't count on that, and you shouldn't count on like banking on like how good you are so early on. I think that's a very like dangerous thing to do, and I would bank on your network. I would bank on trying to get in with your crowd, right? And sometimes it might not happen immediately. Like getting in with your crowd isn't exactly like as easy as it seems, right? Sometimes it takes a while, as to where you'll be chilling with a crew where you're like, okay, this is kind of sick, but like this isn't like my people. And then you'll kind of find another crew and you'll feel like at home, and you'll kind of be like, okay, like this is where I can like build up my kind of self realistically. So that's why that kind of matters. And like I wouldn't want to like taint any of those like potential relationships just trying to make like $40. You know what I mean? Because like realistically, like we're not talking like $1,000 here. You know what I mean? Like anybody selling shit early on is not making any more than $100. You know what I mean? So it's like the relationship is worth more than that in the long term when you could crank out 5 or 6 songs with a person, as opposed to like trying to like put up this like paywall in front of it that doesn't really like help anybody. You know what I mean? Because like you're gonna need like to sell 10 beats at that price to even make a dent, and you're gonna need to sell 10 features at that price to even make a dent. So it's like, do you want more songs out, or do you care about like chump change? Realistically, it's just fucking bullshit. So kind of a blunt answer, but also kind of the truth, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the established people kind of have their way of doing things and their business kind of set up in a certain way. So again, a lot of that information isn't really for anybody that's already established. It's for more so the new guys, the new people that are like, okay, like how the fuck should I go about this? And you should. You know what I mean? Like plain and simple, like you shouldn't. You should be worrying about networking with people. You should be worrying about getting beats to artists that'll actually get on your shit. You should worry about sending out opens to people that actually will finish them. You know what I mean? It takes some time, but I wouldn't worry so much about that right now because a lot of that stuff comes later on. I would worry about building your library and building a network and um, a team of people that you can go to for, a collab, a feature, send beats to without having a paywall and things like that. It's very important to do that early on because you can kind of like get your name out to a lot of other groups of audiences that you wouldn't normally. Because you could kind of like put out like 50 songs in a year and you wouldn't really like, sometimes it just won't do anything. But once you like have those 50 songs and then you collab with Joe Schmo and it's a fucking banger, Joe Schmo's audience is like, oh shit, who's this other guy? And then they see that you have this massive library of music and they find out about you and da 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 da. The ball just kind of rolls. So that's why it kind of matters more than making 20, 40 bucks. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in this for the long haul, you know what I mean? But if you're just like hustling and trying to treat music like that, then that's this video definitely isn't for you. But yeah, that would be my advice. Kind of worry about your network and your collabs right now, especially early on within like your first like 2 to 3 years. Definitely. So yeah, that'll be uploaded on the channel. You guys know the drill. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe and check out the channel if you have not already. And huge shout out to everybody that's showing love on the YouTube side of things. You guys are amazing. So, you guys know the drill. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, we have a ton of submissions tonight. My friends. So, you guys know the drill. We are going to talk about guidelines, all that good stuff. And then we're going to hop right into it because we're going to get through as many of these as we can tonight. So, for all you audio listeners out there, the tweet is in the same format per usual every single week, and it reads Artists and Creatives. Submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on October 9th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch.tv/OnPlays. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. So, obviously today, October 9th, 2023, Twitch.tv/OnPlays, which is here now. And of course, contrary to our name, you can submit anything you want. We've reacted to everything from instrumentals to vocals, music videos, merch, fashion, writing, photos, digital art, like you name it, we've reacted to it here on Music Monday. So feel free to submit anything you want, and if you feel like you deserve a little bit of spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, we'll be happy to check out your submission. Absolutely. So, obviously, all art forms are welcome. For our show limits, that was put in place earlier this year, just because we are a weekly live show. So once we started having like 4, 5, 6, 7 hour shows, I was like, okay, this is definitely not going to be watched in completely one sitting. And one could argue that 4 hours is still relatively long, but I figured 4 was like a good limit as to where we could get some talking segments in. We could leave some extra room for some stuff, but also it's still decent to watch back and throw on in the background. And of course, like I said, we're a live show. We do this every single Monday, so to put less pressure on us and the team, we just backed it up to 4 hours. So, that's like the major things, but of course, you guys know that submissions always have been and always will be free for the podcast. We've never charged, we never will charge. The only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible, not only to help grow our community and spread our message, but also gains you access to a wide network of creatives. You can join our Discord, you can mingle with our mutuals, all things like that. So that's the only thing that we do ask before you submit is that you're following us on Twitter before you submit. And of course, with the 4 hour show limit in place, not everybody's submissions will be played each week. Sometimes we'll get 30 to 40 submissions, right? And that's just impossible to do in 4 hours. So that's why our Patreons get their submissions played first each week. So if you're interested in getting a guaranteed played submission each week, definitely go check out our Patreon and check out the Music Mondays Fast Pass. That's available in all of our tiers 1 to 3. Basically, the Music Mondays Fast Pass allows you to submit to the podcast each week and guarantee your submission gets played first each week for the duration that you're pledged to our Patreon. So, say you pledge this month in September, for the rest of September, all the way until your pledge runs out, you'll be able to have your submissions played first at a guaranteed rate. So, definitely go check out our Patreon because, of course, we have more than just the Fast Pass over there. We've been trying to show love to our Patrons over there pretty heavily. So, go check that out. Lots of other goodies over there as well. So, that's about it, my friends. For major stuff, of course, many of you know submissions close about an hour to an hour and a half before the show starts because again we are a live show, so we like to get a couple head counts just to see what we're dealing with and see how long the show is going to be. On top of it, we don't want anybody kind of submitting late and then they cut in front of somebody who's been like waiting for fucking since last Tuesday and this and the third. So you basically have about 7 days to get your submissions in. Essentially as soon as the show goes live, they're closed. So make sure you get your submissions in within a week's span of time, right? But yeah, that's about it, my friends. So that's all the details you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast and how to submit each week. Now, of course, submissions are live every Tuesday. So if you're watching the show here, episode 142, submissions open tomorrow for episode 143. If you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are already open. So definitely go find the tweet and check the date. Make sure that it's the right submission and drop your links. So, you guys know the drill. We're going to go through our Patrons first, and then we're going to go through the rest of the community as well. So, let's see here, chat. I think, hold on, let's start at the bottom. I think I saw like 2 Patreons. Pretty sure I saw 2 Patreons for this week's episode. Okay, yeah, we got the homie King Mark down here. That's 1 Patreon. Blank Thought, that's 2 Patrons. And then I think that might be it for current patrons. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So first up is the homie Blank Thoughts. Let's get into it. So Blank Thought has had literally a crazy 2023. Collabs, drops, projects, and they're still going. They have a lot of stuff coming for the rest of the year. But not only is Blank Thought a talented music producer, but also a Music Mondays staff writer. Definitely go check out their pieces. But they submitted a new Bandcamp link, actually. Let's see what we got here. Track 1 by Sko. Okay, so I assume this is Prod Blank Thought. We gotta check this out. Mixed by Blank Thought, produced by Blank Thought, rhymes by Sko. October 4th. So this is 5 days old. This is literally fucking super, super new. Alright, let's get into it. Brand new Blank Thought. Let's go. Beat the stream up.
Yeah, check it. It's not a renaissance, it's a penitence. I turn your demigods into demigods. I put Fent in the ready rock and let it rock. Machete chops in every bop. I'm everywhere.
Holy
like
shit.
confetti dropped. You're never there, you better not. Like stepping to Freddie Fox, you're getting stomped. I'll beat the beat till his kids are dead inside and never try. And can only be identified by dental slides and Betty Bar whenever I set aside 5 minutes to write better rhymes every line. Dance like the electric slide and turn your whole hood against you, gentrified. On the low like Chinese genocide, y'all are hoes. And I do not mean feminized, cause every lady that I know is tougher. You're on the net hating gay folks, you're the sucker, damn near trumper. And some used to be a butcher, now they're buying bullshit. Used to be the pusher, said it's money over bullshit, except y'all broke. And on some bullshit, guess y'all joke, I fucking dope. Let them set the bar lower, I'm a ball thrower like you saw. The car slow up in the window, go down as the bar go. I feel like your mom, damn I wish y'all would grow up. Shout out to the real men with real pens, who the world like stems and drop real gems. It's rare, it's real friends, yeah, it's too few. Interval to respect, I salute you.
What the fuck? Holy shit. Powered by the beats of Blank Thought. You already know. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that definitely felt like some like old school, like very much like standard Blank Thought. Standard in the aspect that like that's like the sound that Blank Thought kind of like planted in my head as like a first time listener. So that one definitely brings me back. That one definitely brings me back for sure. All right. Let's break this one down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of the Renaissance. So, let's talk instrumental. Prod Blank Thought. Mix is great. Blank Thought always has this like very consistent, like very leveled out, normal mix. Like it's nothing too crazy, but it's nothing like underwhelming. It's not like raw or like kind of clashing too overbearing at all. Like strictly instrumental speaking, Blank Thought's mix always has been like on point for me. I've yet to hear a Blank Thought song where I was like, yeah, the mix is a little off. No. This definitely goes right in that collection of like solid level mixes for sure. So instrumental mix is solid. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, I feel like the melody kind of like did something like it was very memorable, and it like stayed planted in my head when I was listening to the lyrics. The melody was very prominent, and the drums definitely like made you kind of want to move a little bit, but I feel like the melody here was really like well done, and the ambience of it was like just perfect. So I feel like the melody was a shining star, but the drums are definitely a close second for sure. I like the drums because they have like that bounce to it, but the melody kind of was the thing that like I took home for sure. Definitely the melody. Um, let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. So much like the instrumental, very level, super solid, nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything sits nice on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. I definitely didn't notice any gripes with the vocals either. Not like too raw of a mix, but also not like overdone or anything like that. It's definitely like a very like tight, well-rounded mix for sure. So vocals solid. Shining Star, flow is definitely a close second, but the writing was insane. The writing all day was insane. Once I heard those first couple bars, I kind of knew what we were in for. So Renaissance is definitely like an insane kind of track name for this, for sure. Because the writing was definitely there, like definitely fucking there. So definitely writing for sure. Let's talk theme. Um, Deuces 3, the Renaissance. So we're gonna talk about aesthetics first, obviously. Now looking down here, we have Deuces 1, Deuces 2, and then Deuces 3. So I assume these are like small offerings. Are they like EPs each time? Okay, yeah. So Deuces 1, okay, I get it. So they're like 2-track EPs. Okay. I'm feeling it. I see. So this is Deuces 3, the Renaissance. Alright, so there's like a little bit of like a continuation going on here, and I like that. I don't think that every track or every artist needs to have like a concrete theme with everything that they fucking do, but I definitely feel like this one kind of had a nice like subtle like series you could like really like discover. You know what I mean? Like you're like Deuces 3, and then you go back and then you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, you got Deuces 1, Deuces 2. And then like you wouldn't really like understand the whole like Deuce's kind of theme up until you realize that all of them have 2 tracks, and all of them are probably like somewhat in like the same format as well. You know what I mean? So, um, theme already is like really really solid, but when it comes down to the true aesthetics, this is definitely like a cover that screams Renaissance to me, and it has something to do with like the grayness of this cover. Like I don't know why it just reminds me like Renaissance, just kind of like black and white, some kind of like insane feeling here, like some kind of like classic but like old timey kind of feels. So I feel like the art just fucking absolutely washed. Blake Thought, what's good? I hope you're well. I've been mixing the other deuces for him, so he asked me to do one. Really happy with the tracks. Sko's a great rapper. They're all crazy. I would agree. I would agree. This was fucking nuts. This was fucking nuts. Like this is one of those that like as a listener would intrigue me to go and listen to the rest of them. Just off of this one. Literally just off of this one. So aesthetics definitely on point. Um Overall theme, I wouldn't say that there's like a written kind of theme here. Like I wouldn't say that this is about X, Y, or Z. This is obviously definitely a showcase of like lyrical skill and talent. But what I can respect a whole lot is like wrapping the theme in other places, right? Like the fact of the title Panaissance, the covers, the Deuces kind of continuation. Like I think all of those things tie into a theme here, and this is something that you could really like build off of. Like I don't think themes are very much uh like tied to like just lyrics or kind of like the song itself. I definitely feel like this is a really great example of it, to be honest with you, because like Sko spoke about a lot here. So there wasn't like one subject to like tie down, but like aesthetically and like with titles and kind of descriptions, in so many words you kind of understand this whole trilogy that we have going on here. Like you definitely get it now. You definitely get it now. So yeah, very cool, very well done, and this is how you kind of do it, but you can like still do whatever you want. Like this is what I love about this too. Like one last thing, because like these are all very different, but they're all very like a part of a series. So like this allows you to do whatever you want aesthetically and lyrically, but keep it in a series. So like I talk about themes so much on on the show here, but I feel like this in particular is something that like we don't see enough of, as to where like you don't really have to limit everything to like one kind of theme. Like you can really box it in almost like a series. So yeah, see like this description here is definitely like breaking it down a little bit. So that one has a description. Clay Pigeons has one as well, and then of course the Panaissance, powered by Blank Thought. So like as a listener, this would make me excited for Deuces 4. You know what I mean? Like if I'm being completely honest with you. So well done. This is really cool to see. This is really really cool to see, and I think more artists need to kind of take this route and really just let the ideas fly, because this can be the result for sure. So huge shout out to Blank Dot and Sko. Make sure you follow Sko on Bandcamp, and of course make sure you follow Blank Dot on Twitter. Blank Dot is approaching 1.2k on Twitter. Let's go, Blank Dot. Go show some love to Blank on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays podcast and channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Let's get it. So, our first Patreon of the night, Blank Thought, huge shout out to Blank. Up next, our last Patreon of the night, the homie King Mark. Now, Mark has absolutely been cooking up some shit that's not even out that I've heard that is absolutely insane. Like, just absolutely fucking insane. I talk a lot about Mark's level up as of recently. When it comes to mixing and things like that, but Mark's kind of having another breakthrough. So this next track, I have a feeling is going to be really, really crazy. But of course, for those of you that don't know Mark, a super talented alternative vocalist, submitted a track titled Take Care of It, prod Jordan Andrew. Let's pop this open a new tab. And we got a little private Lucy here. Wait, we need to fucking... It's not letting me fucking pop it open in a new tab. That it's like the fucking... The little bar thing isn't there. Holy shit. Can we? Nah, this will just take us to SoundCloud. Yeah, no. Let me see. Actually, I have an idea. We'll go like this. Wait, where the fuck did Mark's submission go? Okay, here it is. It's not letting me... Yeah, no. It's not letting me open it in a new fucking tab. That's kind of an L. I mean, we could always just listen in browser, but... Yeah, no. Okay, let's get into it then, because this is like the old way we used to listen to it. It's kind of crazy, because before I used to open the links in new tabs for private tracks. But now it's just kind of embedded. So this is like the old school kind of way we used to do it. It's actually really crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So let's get into it. Exclusive unreleased game Mark. Take Care of It. Let's go. I like the outro. Okay, this was particularly crazy for a couple of reasons, right? So, I had mentioned Mark's level up relatively recently. Because 2023 kicked off really hot for King Mark, and then it didn't really stop. Visuals, singles, things like that. And then as of recently, Mark kind of came in with this like different kind of fucking vibe, and it had a little bit to do with the mix. It had a little bit to do with how they were recording, and just so many other things, man. And this track is like a really big culmination of all that. Like Mark finally broke through again, and it's like holy shit, this is this is different. Um, so let's break this one down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of "Take Care of It." Ree, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Um, so let's talk about the instrumental. Brought Jordan Andrew. Now, many of you have heard of Jordan Andrew through the Music Mondays podcast. To be honest with you, um, you know, Jordan has been showcased on the show so many other times, but this is the first time we've seen Jordan prod for somebody that wasn't in their crew on the show. So this one's pretty rare. This one's definitely pretty rare. But strictly speaking on the mix is great. I mean, you have a lot of these melodies here that are nice and wide and very theatrical. Drums are great. Everything cuts through nicely. Nothing clashes overbearing at all. I definitely think Jordan has always had like a really solid mix when it comes to their instrumentals, especially everything that we've heard from Jordan, like on Jordan's end. I definitely think is like very, very solid for sure. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. So the melodies are a really big part of this, right? But the drums I'm a big fan of, but I think something that you could like really kind of sleep on and really underrate is the structure. I feel like the structure for this instrumental was like really progressive, but also kind of like minimal. Like it wasn't trying to be crazy, but it had that nice progression as to where it was always changing, and it always felt like it was fresh, and it gave Mark the opportunity to like have a really insane hook. Like Mark just like kind of took that space and ran with it. So I feel like structure was a very like underrated aspect of this. So mm, I kind of want to say structure. I'm not gonna lie, but the melodies are really good though. The melodies are really really fucking good. Um, Probably the structure though, just because it's underrated. It's a very underrated structure. So I'm gonna go with structure definitely. Let's talk vocals. Mix is great. Mark has really like leveled up their mix in terms of like what they settled with and like what they really enjoy on certain instrumentals and kind of how they like to sound on certain tracks. So Mark kind of like hit the nail on the head recently as far as like the last like 3 or 4 tracks go. They've all had this like really tight, well-rounded mix, and this is all the same, definitely. So solid mix, absolutely, definitely crisp, clear, absolutely. Um, Vocal shining star. So, um, writing is really good, right? But I think the hook is what's gonna like bring a listener back that really gets hooked on this, and they just like have like it's just one of those hooks that's catchy, but it sticks in your head like without knowing. You know what I mean? So this is one of those that you'll like find yourself kind of like humming or some shit like that where you don't even realize it. Definitely a hook like that for sure. So the hook, absolutely shining star, not even a question. So the instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Writing's a close second. Let's talk theme. So cover. King Mark has had this really consistent style when it comes to their covers. And actually, I will pop up in their SoundCloud and show you what I'm talking about. So when it comes to like how consistent they are with their covers, it's really like subtle, but it does it so much justice. And this track is all the same, 100% all the same. And it leaves enough room as to where like you don't need to like use the same theme all the time, but you can also kind of keep it consistent. And they've all been relatively consistent, and this one's definitely all the same for sure, 100%. So aesthetics on point. Let's talk theme. So take care of it. I mean, it's kind of like a relatively obvious theme, right? Somewhat about money, somewhat about love, but also mainly about like being able to do shit like on your own. And I think Mark does a really good job kind of expanding upon that feeling and being like, yeah, I can do all this shit on my own, and you don't have to like having that ability of doing it if you want because you can is crazy. And this is very much one of those like, I worked my ass off for it, so I should be able to do whatever I want. And I can do whatever I want. And then it's also like at the same time kind of leaning on that like emotional aspect a little bit in terms of like how that feeling can affect you as well. So take care of it's kind of a deep track without even really trying to be. And I think that's what's really cool about Mark's writing, and just prove that Mark like really just leveled up. Really just fucking leveled up. So huge shout out to Mark. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Mark on SoundCloud, and make sure you follow Mark on Twitter. They are 3 follows away from 310. Go show Mark some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available there. So go show some love to these artists and the motherfucking channel. And if you already have, man, huge shout out to all you guys showing some love to the channel and dropping a sub, dropping some love and all that good stuff. We appreciate you. Thank you. So, let me take another quick look and make sure we didn't miss any Patreons. And we did not miss any Patreons tonight. No. So again, huge shout out to Blank Thought and King Mark. Thank you so much for your submissions. Right back into the community. Let's go. Up first, we got the homie H2H. Now, I believe H2H submitted for the first time last week or the week before. So I'm definitely excited to get into some more H2H, a very talented hip-hop vocalist, submitted a track titled Millionaire. And apparently this is a remake. Let's see what we got here. Cover's actually kind of crazy. It almost kind of looks like a video game. July 28th, 2022. So this is relatively, it's not like super old, but it's not brand new. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, because we reacted to their latest track, like I think it was like last week or the week before. So let's get into it. H2H, Millionaire. Let's go.
I pull up in no Gotti, yeah, they call me the boss.
this for me, they know me. They talk too much, something they can do. But in real life, they don't know my story. I'm spending my money, giving the hits. I set in my matter, killing the beat. Feeling like it, I don't know the feet. I go hard on the hustle, rock on my mullah. Hey. Yeah. Chukka, 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 chukka. I'm off the moon, you can't find me. You been telling me, say, you know want me, yo, but now I don't devour. You won't find me, you shit, you won't find me. I be, you won't try me, yo. I recollect my money in a bullion. Everybody knows that I'm ballin'. You can still tell off your money that I'm popping countdown. I'm the number one. God did it. Got so paid, spend $1 million. For my pay, hustle more and more. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. No money, more cars, the parents, super models. I pull up in no daddy, yeah, they call me the boss. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. There's only one boss that went in the building, popping in the club, everybody go they holler, hey, he's the boss, yes, he's the boss. I've been dropping dope sounds every since and every time I'm the sauce. I'm the king of the vibes, that's the name of the game. Go hard or go home, just know the platter of gold. You gotta pay the price, they call it diligence. You gotta walk the talk, they call it diligence. Be strong like Indomitable Lion of a Cameroon. In a calf tournament, they belong in the league of the millionaires. You gotta hustle, hustle, hard. You gotta hustle, hustle, hard. You gotta hustle. Don't be a what, so you can ball, so you can ball. Got so paid, spend $1 million. For my pay, hustle more and more. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. No money, more cars, I'm playing with supermodels. I pull up in no daddy, yeah, they call me the boss. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire.
Okay. Let's break this one down, man, because this one's kind of interesting. So, we're talking about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, we'll talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Millionaire. So, let's talk instrumental. So, kind of an interesting instrumental choice, to be honest with you, but it has this like interesting flavor to it, man. I don't know, something about it, but the mix is on point. I will say that the mix is definitely on point. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums are solid, mells are solid. Everything has like a really like wide and solid mix. No complaints at all. Nothing that I noticed was like out of place. Instrumental mix definitely solid. Instrumental shining star. I like the drums, but I feel like the melodies were like very rememberable. I feel like the melodies kind of brought that like fancy kind of like almost like Florida kind of like Miami feeling for some reason. Like, call me crazy, I don't know why, but something about that gave me this like somewhat fancy but like futuristic kind of feel, I guess. I don't know, it was weird. But I think the melodies kind of took it home for me, to be honest with you. So melody's definitely a shining star. Let's talk vocals. So vocals were good. I feel like H2H sounds really good with autotune. I feel like they really know how to work autotune and not like overdo it. They kind of hit this like very specific mark with it. But their vocal mix itself was pretty solid. Something about the vocals were interesting. It was either like the key was a little off or like the vocals were like offbeat a little. Something about it was a bit off. Like purely from like a listening standpoint, but it wasn't like throwing the song off fully. It was only like something that like a musician would know and like kind of like notice. But something about it was very much like off. But again, like that could also be like creative integrity. Like sometimes people take that as a creative liberty and they're just like, nah, I kind of like wanted to make it do this or kind of wanted to make it do that. So that's why like breaking down mixes isn't something we do like super deep because some of it is like a creative liberty. You know what I mean? So like and preference as well. So with that said, the mix is solid for what it is, definitely. Um Vocal Shining Star. I feel like it probably was the flow and cadence. I'm not gonna lie, because like you could see where it was going, and the writing kind of like backed it up in giving that like kind of like fancy kind of feel, but the flow and cadence made it like kind of like push it over the edge for me. And that kind of like goes back to the point of like H2H like really knowing how to like work auto tune and like use it while they're recording and things like that. So um probably flow and cadence. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, flow and cadence definitely kind of took it home for me. Um so instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics. The cover kind of has a similar feel to the last track, and I actually went back and like took a look, and a lot of them have like that same goldish, like dirty gold kind of font, and I noticed that was pretty consistent, and I thought that was sick because it like I don't know why I just kind of like remembered that. So that's one thing that's really solid about this cover, but I mean aesthetically, it's definitely on point. It's definitely on point for sure. Like I think the foreground kind of puts this over for me, but it kind of has that like video game feel to it as well. So definitely like hits the mark for sure. Um, Overall theme. I mean, relatively self-explanatory, right? Wanting to be a millionaire. Talking about grinding relatively hard to get what you want, so you can ball out later on in life. I think H2H definitely does a good job kind of like simplifying it and also kind of like breaking down like why would you want to be a millionaire, why would you want to work hard, why H2H definitely goes into a little bit of detail on like why all that's worth it. So it's not just like a song about flexing, it's a song about like wanting and becoming a millionaire. So like kind of an interesting theme there because it's not what you typically expect. So well done. Huge shout out to H2H. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow them on the Bird app. Go show them some love. They are 10 follows away from 410. Go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode. And every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. So, per usual, make sure you subscribe. Go show everybody some love. We are on the road to 220 subscribers on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, a whole lot of good stuff available over there on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, we left off with H2H, and up next we have a first-time submitting artist known as Orch or Oroch. Orc could be a couple different ways to pronounce that, but I believe they made this last week's SoundCloud Sunday as well. But this is the first time they'll be submitting here on the show, and they submitted a track titled Onward. Let's pop this open a new tab and see what we got here. Okay, we got some lyrics in description as well. We love that. We love that. Wait, I'm curious. Okay, 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 okay. So Green Skies. Green Skies B-sides, okay. But it looks like they were all not uploaded at the same time. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Lyrics W. Lots of love in the comments. W. Song gets my adrenaline pumping. Let's get it. Okay. Let's get into it. First time submitting artists. Onward. Let's go. Holy shit. Damn. Damn. Holy shit. Wow. track is fire. Yeah, I definitely see what the comments mean now. I definitely see what the fucking comments mean now. This was like, I think I think I like this for a reason that not one person actually mentioned, and it's the fucking mix. Like the mix is so high quality for a track like this because it's so heavy and so like live instrumental based. I feel like the mix is really fucking on point. Like it sounds very crisp and it's not like drowning out the vocals, and the instruments also sound very like live. So whoever mixed this did a really stellar job in kind of evening everything out and making this sound like really fucking consistent. Like I think the mix is like one of the more like hippable parts of this. Thank you very much. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for your submission. Um, because in the comments everybody was definitely very accurate, but the mix is surprisingly very solid. Like very, very solid because sometimes with tracks like these, it's very easy to like drown the vocals out or drown the instruments out trying to achieve a very solid like decent mix. But this one kind of hit the mark. Like really, really hit the mark. So let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Onward. So, um, let's talk instrumental. I think, like I just said though, the instrumental mix is really fucking on point for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think that's one of the most like redeemable things here is how crisp and clean this mix is for sure. So no question, I definitely approve of the instrumental mix. Absolutely, especially on like a first listen, no doubt, no doubt. Um, so not even a question. The instrumental mix is on point. Um, instrumental shining star. Obviously all the loops and the melodies and the riffs here were great, but the structure was really solid. Like how this instrumental is laid out, makes this very like consistent to listen to, but it's not repetitive and it's also progressing a lot. So the instrumental structure is definitely the shining star because that's probably like one of the more underrated things here is again how this is laid out and how it's like always progressing and always like getting higher and higher and higher. Kind of like that roller coaster theory that we always talk about. It's always just going up, 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 up. So the structure definitely had a big part in that for sure. Um so instrumental on point, definitely the structure, but I feel like the melodies were close second for sure. Let's talk vocals. So again, a vocal mix is great. Definitely what you would expect for this kind of like rock, alt rock, indie rock kind of sound. Um, very much crisp, clean, and like slightly like melodic as well. It has this like softer mix to it, but it's very prominent in the song itself. That's why I think this mix deserves more praise because it's like the vocals are still giving this like softer kind of feel, but they're very like perfectly sat in the song. And I think that has to do with the mix like a lot. And then of course recording too as well, but the vocal mix is great, just like the instrumental mix. Um vocal shining star. I like the writing a lot, but I feel like the flow and cadence and like how everything was delivered kind of sold it for me because it kind of brings you back to like early like 2000s like alt rock, but also like kind of has this like modern feel to it. So I definitely feel like it's like the delivery and the flow and cadence that kind of like sucks you in as a listener, and then the lyrics kind of just take you on a journey as you're like reading and listening. So definitely the flow and cadence for sure. Um, so instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence, but writing is a close second. Let's talk theme. So Gray Skies. I was curious what Gray Skies was because I knew the song wasn't called Gray Skies. So we went and did a little bit of research. We found out Gray Skies is their project. And then obviously, there's the B-sides and things like that. So I think what's really nice about this is they actually went out of their way to kind of at least make it relatively consistent. Like if they weren't going to drop an album all at once, at least it's all consistent across the board. And I think that's what's very respectable here is we have Green Skies and then we have the Green Skies B-sides. So really cool and makes it very easy to associate, right? Because if you're a first time listener and you're getting into say one track and then you kind of you're okay, all of Green Skies is right here, and then you listen to the beat, so it has a theme there, even though it was kind of constructed over a period of time, which I think is nice. So at least that's a thing that I like that a lot. As far as the aesthetics itself, totally project and album worthy, not even a question. I like the font choice. I like the foreground and the color palette. I like the logo on the bottom left. It definitely is album worthy. So no doubt is this a good choice for sure. But you could also slid this as a single, but definitely project worthy. Absolutely. Overall theme. So this one's very it's not complex, but it's a very deep kind of track, right? And this isn't necessarily a sad track, but it's a very emotionally driven track. And I almost sense a bit of fear and frustration in these lyrics a bit. It definitely has this this theme of being fearful of the future, but also kind of frustrated. And it has this interesting dynamic because the vocals are a bit softer than how the instrumental is super rough and very rigid. So you combo this with somewhat personal and emotional lyrics, you get a very interesting feeling, and you have an artist that is totally placing you in their shoes. And you can kind of really get where they're coming from. Even if you've never felt these kinds of feelings before, you can kind of piece it together and really like I said, be put in their shoes, but also somewhat kind of see their frustrations. So a little bit of frustration, but also a little bit of fear. And I think, the number one message to really take from that, and even if you don't directly relate, I think one of the things that you can take from it is this was a very important track to get out in the aspects of writing and recording it and then publishing it. It's tracks like these that you get a lot of shit off your chest as an artist, and you get a lot of thoughts out of your head in a very healthy way. Because we'll talk about that's just something we talk about here on the show all the time. And this one is definitely right up that lane with kind of venting your frustrations, but also kind of describing your point of view in a very detailed way. And it doesn't have to be visually detailing. It's somewhat storytelling, but it also has this direct feel to it as well. This is one where if you relate to it, it's gonna nail you, and if you don't really relate to it, you're gonna appreciate the melodic elements of this for sure. So, with that said, huge shout out to this artist. Thank you so much for your submission. Much love. Make sure you follow them on SoundCloud. They are literally 9 followers away from 200, man. 9 followers away from 200. And of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter as well. They're approaching 1.3K on Twitter. Go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff available over there. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. And of course, if you already have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. So let's get into it. Thanks for the review. Much appreciation. Let's get it, baby. Thank you for your submission. Much, much love, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get it. So, up next would be King Mark Music, but Mark is a Music Wonders Patreon, so we already reacted to Mark, and feel free to go back in the show and check out their review. So, up next, we got the homie Heavy Metaphors. It's been a couple weeks since we heard from Heavy, man. It's been a couple weeks. But Heavy, a super talented alternative producer, submitted a track titled Appetite. Now, let's go click on this link here. And featuring Heavy Metaphors, Battle Worn Angel. Okay, yeah. And then Prod Heavy Metaphors. Okay, so let's go with the SoundCloud link for sure. So it looks like this is a new Heavy Metaphors account as well, which is kind of interesting. Check this out. Second account for Heavy Metaphors, but for remixes and such only. Okay. So we have the Appetite remix as well. Okay, so this is where all the remixes and all that stuff's going. Okay. I see you, Heavy. I see you. All right, let's get into it. Heavy Metaphors, Appetite, featuring Battle Worn Angel. Let's go.
Shade doing a puzzle, searching for new prey when I seen this guy with muscle. Blue bikini on, yeah, he had to take a double. Boys blushing hard, probably scared that he would fumble. Bet he doesn't know I plan to make his heart crumble. Choking on his words, every sentence like a struggle. I'm a nice guy, I'm like, yeah, real humble. Thinking I'm the one cause he lives in a bubble. What he doesn't know is that he's in real trouble. But who's still alive, look in my eyes and turn to rubble. You're looking like on me, not my lion in the jungle. I got a plan for you, how can I make it subtle? Can't scare the prey away, I gotta do it right. We can't do this here, I need you out of sight. I think I know a place, can you meet me at midnight? Gonna stain this white, she's red, got a mean appetite.
Bro.
Midnight got dressed to bed down now. I fell in love, one kiss, now got an appetite. Fell in love, one kiss, got an appetite. All black silhouette, good in the back light. Midnight got dressed to bed down now. I fell in love, one kiss, now got an appetite. Fell in love, one kiss, now got an appetite. Fell in love, one kiss, now got an appetite. Fell in love, one kiss, got an appetite. All black silhouette, good in the back light. Midnight got dressed to bed down now. I fell in love, one kiss, now got an appetite.
Public enemy number one. How many fucks cherry give bitch none? Chains on my neck weighing like a ton. We dressing all black for your funeral, hun. Think he in love, you a stupid bitch, dumb. Back the fuck up before I cock my gun. Get the fuck back for your head gets spun. I'ma eat your heart, clean your brains with a sponge. Empty out your pockets, gonna leak your fun. Give it. How many fucks do I give, bitch? None. Stain your white sheets so red, I got hungry. What's the password to your bank? I need money. Thought I fuck with you, poor boy, you bum me. Only one kiss, this kid too chummy. I mean, you can kiss my ass, but I'll charge you 20. Like Trillion, you stupid man.
Fell in love, one kiss,
Okay, so this was a very interesting, definitely bordering experimental for sure. Um, Hitting that like experimental rap kind of feel definitely. Um, let's break this one down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Appetite. So, this instrumental was very interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Like, not only the vocals were like slightly experimental, but the instrumental was also slightly experimental. And had this like cartoon kind of feel to it, but definitely had a bit of a bounce as well, for sure. But strictly speaking on the mix, super solid. Nothing like super overbearing, nothing clashing. Definitely pretty level. Not too raw, not too like underwhelming at all. It's definitely like reaching like a solid like a middle ground for sure. Um so the mix itself is solid. The instrumental Shining Star. Hmm. Mm, Probably the structure. Drums are a close second, but probably the structure just because it didn't like get that type of repetitive like feeling that you could get for an almost 4 minute track. Like this could have definitely been like one of those like super like repetitive like it just got really like in your head instantly. This one was not that. It definitely like hit the mark when it comes to like staying fresh throughout the whole track. So definitely the structure for sure. Um so instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk vocals here. So we have Battle Worn Angel and we have Heavy Metaphors on here for vocals. Heavy pops on with this very much like reverb, kind of like interesting take for a mix. Now, this could be like creative preference, right? So this is why I'm not and never really have like critiqued mixes too much because mixes are something that's like usually always evolving for underground and independent artists, right? And something that's always being perfected. So for what Heavy's vocals were, they definitely weren't bad when it comes to the mix. Um, when you compare them to Battle Worn Angel, I feel like it definitely threw off like the listen for the first time because Battle Worn Angel had like a very much cleaner mix and Heavy was very much like drowned in reverb. So there could be like a creative liberty there, or there could be like this is just how it came out kind of deal. You know what I mean? So for what the mix is, it's good. You know what I mean? It's very good. It brings this like DIY dynamic that like not a lot of songs can like really achieve. Like so it's definitely got that like homebrew kind of feel. Not even a question. Um so the vocal mix is solid. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Definitely nice and level. Um so yeah, like I said, for what it is, it's solid. A vocal shining star. So we had Heavy on the hook, and then we have Battle Worn Angel with the verses, and I think writing, definitely writing for sure, because like the instrumental was very like, it was on the like the minimalistic kind of side, but the writing kind of got front and center because of that. I think the writing was very much like, uh one of the more like redeeming qualities of this because like you could like go in and like really like dissect the writing but also had an instrumental to kind of like carry the way, so definitely the writing for the Shining Star 100%. um so instrumental solid, definitely structure, vocal solid, definitely the writing. um let's go with theme. So let's talk about the theme here. Aesthetics. Now this is a very interesting cover choice because for what this track was, it doesn't like this is a very heavy cover. This is a very like it's heavy. Like blood, teeth, appetite, strikes you as like a very like 808 filled, loud vocals, kind of like moshing kind of track, and it's quite opposite of that. So I would like to know who kind of came up with this concept, because like I get like the title aspect of it, but the sound of the song is like not what you picture at all. So this is solid art, but it'll throw you off a little bit for sure, because like you see the cover and then you hear the track and you're like, the fuck, you know what I mean? So it's fire nonetheless though. I like the quality of it for sure, and then I definitely like the font. And then in like metaphorical kind of like purposes, it's definitely like up there with like what the track is about. So the aesthetics are definitely there, and Battle Worn Angel kind of dives in a lot about like um people she doesn't fuck with, shitty people in life, kind of like having an appetite for destruction somewhat. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of like tie in there a lot. You know what I mean? But there was definitely mostly a lyrical showcase, and Battle Worn Angel and Heavy are definitely a solid duo. If I'm not mistaken, this isn't the first time they worked together. They've definitely worked together a couple times, and I believe we've reacted to them here on the show, at least once or twice. At least once or twice. So, this is definitely a solid duo, and I definitely like to see what they cook up next for sure. So, huge shout out to Heavy Metaphors. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Heavy Metaphors on SoundCloud. They're 2 follows away from 10 on their remix account. And of course, make sure you follow Heavy on the Bird app. They are approaching 1.1K on Twitter, my friends. Go show Heavy some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube free upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel. Make sure you go show the channel some love, man. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, underground tips and tricks, and a lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. So, you guys know the motherfucking drill, man. We are just about halfway through the show. So, it's time for a quick commercial break. And when we return, we're going to get right back into the rest of our reactions and reviews. So, I'm going to need all you guys to get up, go get a snack, go get a drink, go get a bathroom break, go do whatever you need to do. Maybe a little smoke break, maybe a little some, you know what I'm saying? So, definitely get up, stretch your legs, and we'll be right back with Music Mondays, episode 142. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 142. Hope you're well, hope you're chilling, but let's get back into some submissions. Vac, what's good? Hope you're well. Happy motherfucking Monday. So, last we left off with the homie Heavy Metaphors, and up next we got the homie Filter. Now, Filter's also had a really solid 2023. But Filter is sitting on a stack of crazy-ass unreleased music. Like, we've gotten some insane submissions from Filter. Like, absolutely insane. So, this week they submitted a track titled Fighters, and it's a demo. So, let's see what we got here. 411 as well. So, let's get into it. Filter, Fighters. Tarek, what's good? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy motherfucking Monday. Let's go.
Up with some lethal weapons. G-O-A-T, I know I get it. Up to my head, yeah, I never let it. Up on spot, yeah, I tell him what's up with it. In my love, I've been nothing near to being awkward. Little bro talking tough, he must be kidding. Yeah, he must be. Say what's up, 'cause I don't really know. Say what's up, yeah, what's going on, bro? When that bitch tried talking to me to kick rocks. Yeah, I never got it, stick mine. Pull up on a plug, yeah, I know I'm at a block hut. Pull up on your bitch, yeah, tell her what's up, hun. My heart is blue, my heart is green. Yeah, you probably saw me up on TV. Give a fuck what you say, go fuck what you see. I'ma do it to a missing person TV.
Damn.
She's so sad, but who is that guy? I'm right outside, so tell me how I can undermine the rope in the sky. Why she's so sad? The wind with this beat, I'm ahead of stepping. I'ma pull up with some lethal weapons. G-O-A-T, I know I get it. Up to my head, yeah, I never let it. Up on spot, yeah, I tell him what's up with it. In my love, I've been nothing near to being awkward. Little bro talking tough, he must be kidding. Yeah, he must be. So, 'cause I don't really know. Say what's up, yeah, what's going on, bro? Say what's up, 'cause I don't really know. Say what's up, yeah, what's going on, bro?
It's like fading out? What the fuck?
I know intention being nothing does better than that, but now heavy, baby, I don't even want to look back. I don't wanna glance, I don't wanna
Dude.
I promise you won't be scared at all. But sometimes don't feel
Dude.
sometimes don't flip how to hurt it all. Does it hurt at all? Does it hurt at all? Does it? Yeah, well, yeah. If it got me on it, yeah, I heard as I hell. I got you, my anger and my feelings on you. Last night I was up in my crib, I don't even know if I could even tell you how I felt. But I'm done with all of these problems, I can't be counting on one. Grab me a 50, grab me a gun. 5G on my shit like a sun. You surprise spider, yeah, you never know, your focused out. I'm a surprise spider, never know what I'm pulling out. You's a fucking bitch, never told me what was up at all. Now I'm lying, broken, crying over shit I couldn't help. You surprise spider, yeah, you never know, your focused out. I'm a surprise spider, never know what I'm pulling out. You's a fucking bitch, never told me what was up at all. Now I'm lying, broken, crying over shit I couldn't help. Surprise spider, yeah, you surprise spider, yeah, you never know your focused out, never know your focused out. I'm a surprise spider, never, I'm a surprise spider, never know what I'm pulling out, pulling out, pulling out. What I'm a fucking bitch, never, never, so fucking pull me, I was up it out, pull me, I was don't lie, fucking guy, don't lie, push it.
Holy shit. Okay. Crazy fade out. I completely agree. I was not expecting that because it started fading out, and I was like, wait a minute, it's like a good like other half of this fucking song left. Well done. Well fucking done. That was crazy as shit. Wow. Okay. So you guys know the drill. Let's break this down. So, we're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Fighters. So, let's talk instrumental. So, the mix. Filter's an artist where, much like a couple others, I don't have any gripes with their mixes at all, vocals or instrumental, and this goes right in that group. Not one gripe with this mix at all. Filter leaves in like just like the perfect amount of mud. Like literally all the drums are perfect. The structure's great. Like no gripes with the mix like whatsoever. And vocals sit nice. So not really a shocker, but also always want to mention as well. So the instrumental mix very solid. Instrumental Shining Star. So this being a combo of two instrumentals, I want to consider that. I definitely think that the transition is up there. I definitely think it's up there because I wasn't really expecting it. So I definitely think the transition into the later half of the track is really in contention for the Shining Star, but I do like the drums. Like the drums were just very like alternative hip hop slash kind of like Filter has this very like specific kind of sound that isn't like a lot of people. In fact, probably not many. You can't really nail it down to one genre because it's got a mix of so many like different sounds, but this one definitely is leaning on like the alternative hip hop kind of vibe. So probably drums. I'm not gonna lie, probably drums just because they surprise me the most, but they knock. They definitely knock and they keep up a lot of the bounce. But the melody in the first half is definitely up there as far as like remembrance and things like that. But the drums throughout the whole track definitely kind of hit for me. So let's talk vocals. Vocals are great. Again, much like the instrumental, Filter is an artist where I don't have any gripes with their mixes at all. And plus, this being a self-produced track, kind of not really like a shocker, but something you always really got to talk about because it's just not only a very skillful thing to do, but the way that Filter does it so like effortlessly really shows like how long they've been trying to like really lock in their sound and really how long it took them to like really fully get to where they want to be sound wise. And I'm sure they're definitely not, fully satisfied, right? But it's definitely an artist that went above and beyond to like really sharpen their sword. Definitely. So again, vocal mix, great. Vocal Shining Star. So it's a very like hip hop oriented flow and cadence in the first half. Especially with the delivery, it was very much like almost Filter rapping, and it was like holy shit. Because we don't have many of those tracks. Filter's normally a very like melodical, kind of fast paced vocalist, but this was again very much like a hip hop standard kind of track with Filter sound design. So flow and cadence is up there, man. Writing for sure, but flow and cadence, like Filter really rode this. Like really fucking rode this. So probably flow and cadence throughout the whole track. And then like when the transition happens, that even kind of like reassures it that is absolutely flow and cadence for sure. Absolutely. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. So of course, unreleased exclusive track, not really the official cover yet. So we have this cat placeholder for now. So obviously a great choice for a placeholder cover, right? But aesthetics on point nonetheless. So overall theme. A relatively simple theme, right? I definitely think this one is like really easy to understand. Filter's kind of touching on people that have beef with him, uh people that he has beef with, kind of going down that road. And this being called Fighters, again, kind of, it's relatively self-explanatory. So Filter definitely was able to voice some frustrations, but also was able to like really kind of have fun with this one as well. I definitely think this one like pushed the fun limit a lot. Just because you could tell Filter was sliding and flowing on this beat like effortlessly. So like this was one that I could tell that he had fun recording for sure. So huge shout out to Filter. Thank you so much for this submission, my friend. Make sure you follow Filter on SoundCloud, and of course, make sure you follow Filter on Twitter. They're approaching 30 followers on the Bird app, my friends. Literally 3 away. Go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We're about 7 away. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. So, we left off with the homie Filter. Up next is the homie Jordan Andrew. Now, again, Jordan has had a really fucking stellar 2023, performing, collabs, producing. Like, Jordan's really had a solid 2023, I'm not gonna lie. But a very talented alternative vocalist and producer submitted a track titled Sirens. Let's see what we got here. So, we'll pop this open in a new tab. Rooney. What's up? How we doing? 2 years ago. Prod by me, cover art by me. From So Far Demos, summer of 2021. Summer of 2021. This is going to be the true test. I think this might be the oldest Jordan Andrew track that we've ever listened to. It just might be, unless we've heard something from like 2020. But this just might be the oldest. So I'm kind of excited for this. Let's get into it. Jordan Andrew, Sirens.
Look now, walk like you trip, and the sound off, Look now, walk like you trip, and the sound off. Sound off. Don't be alarmed. Sirens come on. It's probably best that you gone. Never like to feel this way. Don't want to cause no harm. The sirens sound today. Don't want to feel this way. Overstimulate. Can't look away. Hear the sirens hit the brakes, not in control right now. I got no solution. When you get to where I'm at, you might expect to crash. Not that bad, not that
Okay, so that was a pretty crazy outro. I'm not gonna lie. Um, wow, like wow, this is such a gem, such a fucking gem. Just because we know where Jordan Andrews at in 2023, so I feel like this is really fucking crazy to kind of hear. Because like there's like a little bit of auto tune, the mix is completely different, the flow and cadence is different. Like Jordan made like such an advancement in like 2 fucking years that it's crazy. Not that this was like bad or anything. It's just like where Jordan's at now. It's like holy shit, holy shit. So this is really cool to go back and check out for sure. So let's break this one down. We're gonna talk about three things. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Sirens. So, let's talk instrumental. So, Prod Jordan Andrew, definitely has that Jordan Andrew instrumental style, that's for sure. Right up there with the rest of their like Jordan Andrew SLM kind of tracks, for sure. So, it's kind of no surprise that the mix is like really on point. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Everything's nice and level. Drums are great. Vocals sit nice. Yeah, for a track that's fucking 2 years old, the instrumental mix is really solid. Like really, really solid. So that's a big plus. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. I like the melody, but the drums sold me. I like the way they knock. I like the way they cut through the vocals. I like the drum selection. I like the drum patterns. Drums all day. Not even a question. Because the drums were relatively chill, but they knocked. So, kind of a W. Um, hmm. So, instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. So, vocals are going to be very interesting here. Let's talk vocal mix. Because this is like one of the more. It's got to be. I don't think we've heard anything earlier than 2021. I want to say maybe a 2020 track, but I don't think so. Like this is some early Jordan Andrew. So we'll keep that in mind when we're talking about the mix here, right? Because I feel like the mix is like way outdated and really is a cool insight on like how far Jordan has come in just 2 years. So with that said, the mix for this track definitely works. And you can kind of see where Jordan was coming through back then. Like really just trying to find your sound and really trying to like figure out like what works best for you and kind of like be like, okay, like I'll ride with this for a little bit and see how it sounds. And I bet looking back on it, Jordan's like, dude, what the fuck? And it's just it's so different. It's so different. It's really crazy. Because I bet if Jordan went back now and used auto tune, it would be in like such a different way. Not even a question. So again, with that said, with that in consideration, uh the mix for this track itself is definitely solid. Um Nice and level, definitely like it blends well with the instrumental. Nothing clashing to overbearing. It's just one of those classic mixes you look back on and you're like, wow. You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit. So I love that. Um Vocal Shining Star. Probably the writing. I'm not gonna lie, probably the writing. Um, just because it was still very poetic back then, but it was very like honest in this track. So writing definitely, but I feel like flow and cadence is like right behind it in terms of like of a shining star for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums, vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics, cover by Jordan Andrew. Now this is one of those early arts that you kind of use, and it's like it just kind of sticks with you. Like, cause I have a couple arts like this where it just has this like glitchy kind of like distorted effect, and like I feel like we all went this direction early on for whatever fucking reason. Like I don't know why, but like I have like one or two covers that are just like this, and I relate. I definitely relate for sure. Um, but in terms of like this track itself, though, it definitely has a like a blue, somber, ambient kind of feeling. So the purples and the red and like this color palette for this cover definitely hits, like without a question. So even back then, Jordan was kind of on point with like feeling out songs and shit like that in terms of covers and titles. So overall theme, sirens. Jordan was very like subliminal and very much like metaphorical for this track. I definitely feel like Jordan kind of left a lot to the listener to kind of decipher more than usual, which I feel like is how his poetic rap style kind of developed afterwards. Because this one was even more subliminal than usual. Because this definitely went a couple different directions, but I definitely still feel like this is a track where Jordan was able to like get some thoughts out in like a semi healthy way without actually being like um putting it in like other shit you don't need to be. So even back then, Jordan was using music as an outlet, and I think that's what's really cool about this. And it's just such a cool insight to see like how artists have progressed, because we've heard so much recent Jordan stuff. It's really cool to like go back 2 years in time and check some shit out like this. So well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Jordan and Andrew. Make sure you go follow them on SoundCloud. They're 2 follows away from 70, man. Literally. Make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter as well. 9 followers away from 350. Both great milestones. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 sub-earnings on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. So we left off with the homie Jordan Andrew. That was a crazy trip in time. But up next, we have the homie Insomniac. Been a couple weeks since we heard from Insomniac, but the last collab that they submitted was really crazy. So I'm definitely excited to see what Insomniac has for us this week. A very talented producer submitted a track titled Visions. Let's see what we got here. Pop it open, a new tab, Rooney. Let's hit up Visions, June 9th, 2023. So definitely not old, but definitely from the summer. So let's see here. 2:15. Let's lock it in. Insomniac, Visions. Like that bio. Such an interesting combo of sounds. Okay. Okay. That was kind of trippy. And again, I kind of like the outro there as well. Um, let's break this down because I feel like, for one, this cover definitely matches the fucking sound like to a T. Um, so obviously no vocals. So we're gonna break this down by two things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme of Visions. So let's talk instrumental. So mix is great, especially with all the melodies and the variety of instruments going on here. Some light drums. I feel like the mix was really solid. Nothing clashy to overbearing, nice and level, super even. No gripes at all. You know what I mean? Because sometimes shit can be a little weird when you have a couple instruments going in and out of an instrumental. So I feel like for what this is, Insomniac really killed the mix for sure. Nice, tight, well rounded. Um, So instrumental mix definitely on point. Instrumental Shining Star. So there was a lot I liked about this. I feel like the sound selection was pretty slept on because I feel like all these sounds really like complemented each other. But at the same time, like structure was very much up there in terms of like replayability as an instrumental. I feel like if you're gonna release instrumentals like that, structure is really like it just goes above and beyond, man. Like it really matters. Like sometimes like structure will be good like regardless because um you know artists always kind of like enjoy those like basic structures. But if you're talking like just strictly an instrumental, I feel like Insomniac included like enough variety in here to be like, okay, this is like really fucking solid. You know what I mean? Um and like if you're a person who listens to instrumentals often, this is one where you're gonna add it to your playlist if you like it because it's one of those that just isn't repetitive at all. So there's a couple like really solid redeeming factors here. But um if I really had to nail it down to one thing, I would definitely say structure. Not even a question, structure for sure. Um so yeah, structure is easily a shining star. Let's talk theme. So, aesthetics, visions. It has this like 50s kind of like I don't think that's Vegas. It's probably New York. Probably New York. It's got to be, or maybe like Jersey, but I don't think it's Vegas. And it has this like 50s vibe and aura to it that I feel like this cover really fucking captured. And it has to do with the sound selection. Like the sound selection brought that like 50s kind of 60s style. It just immediately like puts you in that black and white kind of feel. But the drums are what made this very much like hip hop, like alternative hip hop, kind of like old school boom bap oriented. So I feel like the drums brought it into like modern light a little bit, but the melodies kind of like nailed it in terms of like being classical. So the cover is fucking like it's not even a question. Like absolutely on point. I don't even think you could have picked a better cover, to be honest with you. And then you throw the text at the top. Well done. You know what I mean? Really well done. So cover on point. Overall theme. I mean, Visions is obviously like one of those titles that as a prod you kind of just come up with and you're just like, okay, like this is what I feel about this. But in terms of like visions actually relating to the track, I definitely feel like it has that like look back on history, kind of like go back in time and have a vision kind of feel. You know what I mean? It just sounds very classical. And that's one of the more fun parts about putting out solo instrumentals is you kind of get to come up with the vision yourself. Whereas opposed, sometimes artists come up with the vision and through their lyrics and song titles and whatnot. But when producers do it, I think it's really, really typical. And Insomniac's slowly climbing that list of prods that are just kind of treating themselves like an artist, and they don't necessarily always need to, find rappers and fucking go crazy about placements and things like that. Insomniac is definitely a producer that treats himself like an artist, and that's really, really fucking solid. So, well done, my friend. Make sure you follow Insomniac on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They're approaching 2.2K on the Bird app. Go show them some love on Twitter, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Monday's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 Subaroonies on the main channel, my friends. We upload quite literally 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So go check out the channel and show these guys some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. So we left off with the homie Insomniac. Up next, we got the homie Braden. Now, Braden is another artist that's had a fucking stellar 2023. Almost like weekly, if not bi-weekly drops from Braden. Consistent, high quality drops. Like, Braden's going crazy. So I'm definitely excited for this one. They submitted a track titled Ritual. Let's see what we got. This might be one of the craziest Braden covers out of all of them. Just because this guy is strapped up. Look how strapped this guy is. This guy is fucking ready for war, bro. This song's about to be crazy. I already know. Well, let's get into it. Braden, Ritual. Go.
Yo, just summon the demon like this is a ritual. You ain't got bent to your pockets, that's so pitiful. I do not know who you are, like you were invisible. You wanna talk your tough, hit my digital. Lately I feel like a god. Lately I do what I want. This little got so odd. His girlfriend put me in the squad. I'ma go travel abroad. I'ma go fuck on abroad. I'ma punch in the applaud. Mark and St. Laurent. That little boy wants static. Me and the gang, we wreaking the havoc. You want the money, fuck it, you can have it. I got more bits in the attic. Lil' bro, he won't send me the attic. Focus on cash, pop another addy. Fuck me a bitch, fuck another baddie. Smoke me a blunt, little bitch, I'm laggy. They think that I got an ego, bitch, I'm way too friendly. I do not know what the fuck they all got against me. They tryna say some shit, they all tryna offend me. I'ma leave you undelivered, bitch, I'm way too petty. I'm way too petty. Bitch, I'm way too petty. I'm way too petty. Say that shit twice, bitch, I'm way too petty. Say that shit 3 times, bitch, I'm way too petty. I'ma say it 4 times, bitch, I'm way too petty. I'ma call me in a state. I don't give a fuck what you claim. If you wanna say some shit about me, say it to my face. Get a bank in one day, while you making minimum wage. You a fucking old head, you should know your fucking age. Yo, just summon the demon like this is a ritual. You ain't got bent to your pockets, that's so pitiful. I do not know who you are, like you were invisible. You wanna talk your tough, hit my digital. Lately I feel like a god. Lately I do what I want. This little got so odd. His girlfriend fucked me in the squad. I'ma go travel abroad. I'ma go fuck on abroad. I'ma punch in the applaud. Mark and St. Laurent.
Damn, bud. Okay. We love that. Fire ass fade out too. Mm-hmm. Tough. Really fucking tough, man. Holy shit. Alright, 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 alright. Let's break this one down. So, we're talking about three things here, because that was fucking crazy. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Ritual. So, man, oh man. Alright, let's talk instrumental. Mix is great. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Drums knock. Vocals sit nice. Nice and level. No gripes. No gripes at all. I definitely think Braden's along that line of artists that has this like really consistent, solid mix, especially when it comes to their instrumentals, their vocals, and things like that. So mix across the board, definitely solid, but strictly instrumental speaking, very on point. Very on point. Instrumental shining star is probably the drums. The drums kept up a lot of bounce, but they definitely knocked, and they cut through the vocals relatively solid. So it was like one of those. It punched really hard, and it punched where it needed to. So that's partially due to the mix, obviously, but the instrumental itself, when it comes to the drums, very solid. So instrumental shining star, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. So vocals are great. I mean, I don't think I've heard a bad Braden mix yet, to be honest. When it comes to their vocals, they've always had at least a very much even, steady mix. Like, this is an artist that's very consistent when it comes to their mix, for sure. Along with a couple others, but Braden's definitely up there as far as consistency goes. So not even a question. And definitely something you always want to point out as well. So vocal mix is great. Vocal shining star is, man. I like the flow and cadence a lot, but the writing is kind of what sold me, because there was a lot of like creative punchlines and creative like subliminal bars, but there was also just like straight up like I don't give a fuck bars. And I think that's what's like really fucking solid about this is like Braden pulled out all the tricks here. Because there was a lot of like lyricism, but it was also a lot of like creative writing and like creative flow and cadence, and very much just like this is one of those like turning point tracks where you can tell an artist is about to like enter not like a new style, but like a new era of like what they do. So I definitely feel like this one is like very important in Braden's library for sure. So I'm kind of tied between flow and cadence and writing. I like the hook, but flow and cadence is really up there, and the writing was something that I was like, wow, okay, you know what I mean? I was really like, the writing stuck with me, so I'm gonna go with the writing just because of that. Just because of that. So instrumental solid, definitely. The drums, vocal solid, definitely. The writing, flow, and cadence is close. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics are just. So for those of you that don't know, Braden has a very consistent cover art style with a lot of the stuff that they create for covers. You know what I mean? And again, there's no like law for this. Like, you don't need to be consistent with your covers, but I definitely like Braden's approach a lot, just because you'll always know when it's a Braden track, but also at the same time, like, I just think they're creative. But this one might be one of my favorites just because this guy's strapped. Like this guy is so strapped. And coincidentally or uncoincidentally, the song is actually more on the aggressive kind of like attitude side. So I feel like this fits like even more so now listening to it, because you're like, oh shit, this guy's fucking strapped up and Braden's talking his shit. Like, okay, okay. So aesthetics on point, not even a question. Overall theme, I like this one. Definitely wasn't written with like a theme in mind. It wasn't like a song about certain types of feelings, but at the same time, some of the lyrics will lead you to believe that. There's a lot of like subliminal dissing. There's a lot of like hidden messages. There's a lot of like lyricism that's like specifically for Braden. but it's also like a very like outwardly expressionary track about Brayden like coming up. You know what I mean? Coming up as an artist, coming up as a person, coming up as like a human being, right? And there's just so many things going on in like your like early 20s, late teens, as to where like you feel like there's so many like it's just crazy. It's just fucking crazy. And Brayden definitely voiced a lot of like opinions and a lot of like feelings they had towards people not really like in their circle, but people like around their life and around people in their circle. So it's a very like specific song, but it's also a very like easy to like grasp song as well. So Brayden was able to get a lot of like good writing and feelings out, but you know, a first time listener can like snap and easily like understand like and get behind a track like this. So kind of a dual dynamic there. So well done. Huge shout out to Brayden. Make sure you follow them on Spotify, and of course make sure you follow Brayden on Twitter. They're approaching literally 50 followers. Go show Brayden some love on the Bird app, my friend. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload literally 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the channel. So go show these artists and the channel some love. And if you've already subscribed to the channel and showed us some love, we appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. So, continuing on, we left off with the homie Brayden. Up next, we got Lil Teflon. Now, it's been a couple weeks, maybe even a month, to be honest, since we've heard from Lil Teflon. But a very, very talented hip-hop artist submitted a track titled Like a Pro. Let's see what we got here. So it looks like just audio. Okay. Let's see what we got. Is it just audio? Or is it a video? Okay, it is just audio. Okay. I was curious if this was this is a music video. 2 years ago. 2 years ago is crazy. Getting a lot of throwback tracks here. Decent love in the comments. Okay. Let's get into it. Lil Teflon, Like a Pro.
Turn up. Okay. Get it. Yo, I'ma sit back and watch you do your thing. 2016 vibe, shit bringing me back. Hey. I like the way she moving when she do it like a pro. I know you got a man, but we can keep it on the low. I know you like to travel, tell me where you wanna go. All it takes a shot of Henny and she putting on the show. I like the way she moving when she do it like a pro. I know you got a man, but we can keep it on the low. I know you like to travel, tell me where you wanna go. All it takes a shot of Henny and she putting on the show. Baby girl, you are the center of attention. Got my eyes on you. Love the way you shake your hips. Tell us how you know it's true. We don't need an audience, baby girl, just me and you. Where you get your move from? I don't even have a clue. And I'm looking for our brighter day. She gon' dance the night away. Treat you like a butterfly. Pick you up and fly away. Never no distraction. See the lights flashing. Came out on you, so it's time for some action. Hormones in the rays. Sex feeling in the room. Never asked for a lap dance, but I'm asking you. Sweat dripping off your body, looking like an exercise. Yeah, the way you move your hips really got me hypnotized. Did the same move in the club. I ain't memorized. I'm the one you chose. Middle finger to them other guys. Show me how you back it up. Show me how you move your body. Went from drinking Hennessy, now we sipping up a card. Let me see you twerk. Let me see it clap. Work it from the front, work it from the back. Girl, you a professional. Yeah, that's why I'm testing you. You should thank God for the talent He been blessing you. You could do the nay. You could do the Millie ride. Turn it up, but now she sexy with it. She gon' hit the spot. Controller. I ain't talking about no game. Dancing on the pole. I'm about to make it rain. Call you on the hotline. And my chain gon' bling. Makeup on fleet. Yeah, she caught her with the sling. That's a worker right there. Ain't no need for no gym. Like the smile on your face. Yeah, I love to see you grin. Tell her back it up. Tell her back it up. Yo, forget the weed. Put some drink in my cup. Got my eyes on you. You got your eyes on me. I can ride on you and you can ride on me. Let me put my hands where I know my eyes gon' see.
seat while I'm laying down. You can say drive on me. I'm a loyal customer. You can see me all the time. Ain't really nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Got the room to ourselves, so go ahead and close the blinds. Got a house for the liquor, even got a little wine. Yeah, girl, I know you like it. I can see you blushing. You could be my main bitch. Ayy, I like the way she moving, when she do it like a pro. I know you got a man, but we can keep it on the low. I know you like to travel, tell me where you wanna go. All it takes a shot of Henny and she putting on the show. I like the way she moving, when she do it like a pro. I know you got a man, but we can keep it on the low. I know you like to travel, tell me where you wanna go. All it takes a shot of Henny and she putting on the show. Tell them where we went for the summer 16. All we did is hit the city with the squad and spit some green. Girl, I like your accent, baby, where you coming from? Got my duffel bag, so I went and copped another one. They say that you troublesome, don't know where they coming from. They don't even know you the sweetest at the bubble gum. Got clips of we talking in my living room. I'ma show it to my friends, hope I'm not offending you. If they call you out your name, I'm the one offending you. Baby girl, I'm the student, you can be my principal. Got a message in my song, it's a little spiritual. If you leave for the night, I'm the one missing you. Lay you down on the bed, I'm the one kissing you. Rap about you in my song, hope I'm not dissing you. We can really make this work, I see you on a mission too. She bust it down for a nigga freaking in my living room. Okay, I like the way she moving, when she do it like a pro. I know you got a man, but we can keep it on the low. I know you like to travel, tell me where you wanna go. All it takes a shot of Henny and she putting on the show. I like the way she moving, when she do it like a pro. I know you got a man, but we can keep it on the low. I know you like to travel, tell me where you wanna go. All it takes a shot of Henny and she putting on the show.
Okay. Let's get a little Teflon. I see you, man. I see you. Okay. Um, this is a good combo, right? Of like classic like R&B hip hop, but like also kind of like has somewhat of like a pop element to it as well. There's a lot to go down here, so let's break this one down, and we're gonna talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Like a Pro. Which, I mean, theme is relatively obvious, but nonetheless, we're talking about it. So, let's talk instrumental. Great fucking mix. Everything is so prominent. The melodies sound so summer, like beach like. It's a very like summer kind of track, and no shocker that it was dropped in June. So prime time for a track like this. Prime time. So yeah, the mix is not even a question. Super solid. Like I said, everything is like really prominent. Nothing's clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice. Nothing's really like competing for space. Another really solid mix when it comes to the instrumental, for sure. Let's see here. Let's talk Shining Star. So, instrumental Shining Star is probably the melody, just because it set the stage for like such good vibes, but also like kind of brought that pop element a little bit. Drums were a great support, but the melody was really up there for me. So definitely melody all day. Let's talk vocals. So Lil Teflon has a really solid mix. Every song that I've heard from Teflon has been super fucking on point when it comes to their vocals. And with them being such a versatile artist, right? Like this is more of like R&B, like pop, like slash kind of R&B rap kind of track. But we've heard like straight raw rap from Lil Teflon. We've heard alternative hip hop. We've heard a couple different styles. So this one kind of like adds to the bag of how versatile he is. But when it comes to the mix, all of them have been great. So that's something to really be spoke about. You know what I mean? Like it's really like across the board a really fucking solid mix. But for this track in particular, especially for being 2 years old, very solid when it comes to the vocals. Very solid. Vocal Shining Star. You know, I was gonna say writing initially, but as the flow and cadence kind of went on and the track went on, and I just got used to like the whole vibe of it. Flow and cadence kind of knocks everything out the park here. I feel like Lil Teflon really kind of went above and beyond to flow on this. I think they did a really good job. So definitely flow and cadence, but writing's a close second for sure. So instrumental solid. Definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence, but writing's a close second. Let's talk theme. So, cover. Perfect. Literally perfect. You know what I mean? Especially for something like what this song is about. The aesthetics are on point. Simple, kind of has that like in love kind of vibe, but not really. It has like a little bit of that like almost strip club vibe, but not really. Like just a little bit. And then the font's like really on point, so like definitely like whoever did this cover did like an excellent fucking job. Not even a question. So aesthetics on point. Overall theme, like a pro. I mean, relatively obvious. It's definitely on that like intimate R&B, personal kind of like love ballad, but it's in the style of like rap, R&B kind of pop vocals, and I think Lil Teflon did a really good job mixing all of it, to be honest with you. And he does a really good job not going like too deep into like the love kind of area of it, even though you like I don't get like a corny in love vibe from this. I get like an honest feelings kind of vibe, and you're just trying to like express yourself and like really get some of like the feelings out that you wouldn't normally be able to get out in like a conversation or something. So there's definitely like a deeper meaning behind songs like this, and I feel like Lil Teflon did a really good job kind of expressing themselves. So well done. Huge shout out to Lil Teflon. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow Lil Teflon on YouTube. They're approaching 2.3K on the tube. And of course, make sure you follow Lil Teflon on Twitter. They're approaching 550 followers on the Bird. Go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, literally every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channel some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. So, we finished off with the homie Lil Teflon. Up next, we got Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring, much like so many others tonight, has had a really solid 2023. Music, art, new edits, crazy footage, upgrade in editing. Offspring is a multi-talented artist for sure. Everything from producing to writing to filming to editing to designing. Offspring's got it all. So they submitted music, art, God of Fear. Let's pop this open a new tab and see what Offspring has for us this week. Bam! Let's 1080 this John here. 6 months ago. So definitely not brand new, but definitely not old. Little description as well. I'm kind of interested now. Let's see what we got. Offspring Mysterious, music, art, God of Fear. Let's go. Oh shit. What the fuck? Oh my god. He's like, what the fuck? To re-up that prime, I'm about to pump. Let's fucking get it, baby. I didn't even get that fucking notification, man. Let's get it. Got you, Mark. Let's get it, baby. Thank you so much for the primer, man. No worries at all. Get it, baby. Oh shit. Okay. Is that really the cover too? That's kind of crazy. So this was nuts. This one had a little bit of like that like horror element to it. I like this edit a lot. I feel like Offspring kind of went above and beyond here. This one's very, very interesting. So let's break this down. All right. We're gonna talk about two things because obviously no vocals. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental and we're gonna talk about music art, God of Fear. God of War, anybody? Let's get it, Offspring. Hope you're well. Welcome on in. Yeah, there was a lot of like really cool horror elements to this that were like subtle, but it was different. It was very different. But let's talk instrumental first. So for 3:30, just about almost all of this was used, which I think is really, really fucking cool. I think almost the whole instrumental was used. But when it comes to the mix, super solid, especially for something 4 years ago. You know what I mean? The majority of Offspring tracks have been really fucking solid when it comes to their mixes. Like it's very consistent, very level, very tight, very well rounded, and like it has a very like consistent style of sound as well. So Offspring, yet again, to not really a surprise, has a super solid mix, but something you always want to point out. So mix on point, instrumental Shining Star, probably the drums, because the drums were solid for the song itself, right? But I feel like the drums added a little bit of suspense to this specific music art, which is kind of crazy because the song's way older than the music art, so it's like, damn, like this kind of worked out. So I feel like Offspring did a good job kind of not only coming up with this content piece, but also kind of choosing the song. So for me, drums all day. But outside of that, definitely the drum selection and the patterns were solid. Their patterns are usually what's very like, you could tell it's Offspring for sure. So the patterns are up there, definitely. So instrumental Shining Star, definitely the drums. Music art Shining Star. So, I like the overall theme of this. Like, I just like the I just like the suspense and the horror element. I think this is like one of the more scarier ones that we've seen from Offspring. That's like, okay, like I see what you're getting at here. I see what you're getting at here. So this is definitely one of those that I'm just like, this is a creative thought. This is a creative thought. And plus, Offspring is kind of on camera work here. With how they kind of present themselves on camera and like how they're acting here is perfect. This one didn't really need a lot of like heavy editing. This one just needed like proper proper angles and then like proper camera work. Like you just had to be like solid on camera. So I feel like the concept and Offspring on camera is kind of like what did it for me. Not even a question. Not even a question. So Music Art Shining Star 100% the camera work and Offspring kind of using the horror element to their advantage for sure. So well done, my friend. I like this one. I like this one a lot. This one had a different feel to it, especially with the flashlight and shit. Like this was perfect. This was fucking perfect. So well done. Huge shout out to Offspring though. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Make sure you go subscribe to Offspring. They are 6 subs away from 140. Go show them some love over there on YouTube. Follow them on SoundCloud as well at Offspring Mysterious. And of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They are 2 followers away from 860. Go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We upload 2 times a week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the Music Mondays channel. So, and of course, if you've already subscribed, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Thank you. So we left off with the homie Offspring, and up next we got the homie Saint Zero, a super talented hip hop artist, submitted a track titled "The Way We Are," 2023. So it's been, I think like a couple weeks since we heard from Saint Zero. So I'm definitely excited to see what Saint Zero has been cooking up here. We got some lyrics as well. Let's see. September 21st. So literally super new. And a 2-track kind of Lucy EP. I like this a lot. Okay. So they submitted "The Way We Are," and we have some lyrics that we're definitely going to dive into. So let's get it. Saint Zero, "The Way We Are."
Made a cup of coffee. I know you got a job interview. Eyes is like an iced tea, cheeks like strawberries when I kiss you. Oh, it's a dream. And I don't wanna wake up. Oh, it's just you and me in harmony. Made it home for dinner. I just wanna stay here and cook with you. Smells just like spaghetti. Sunset, the color of cotton candy. We're in harmony. You and me. Fantasies. Oh, it's a dream. I'm afraid I wake searching. I never wanna wake up. It's only you and me. All that we need.
Son of a bitch. That was a love ballad if I ever fucking heard one. Wow. Well done. Well done. Son of a bitch. So, I really like the ukulele a lot. I like the kind of like lo-fi-esque mix that's going on here as well. There's a couple like really cool redeeming points about this. So, let's break this one down. We're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of The Way We Are. So, let's talk instrumental. Super fucking bare bone instrumental, man. It obviously just the uke here and a slight mix. But with that said, the mix is really cool. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Nothing clashing, nothing like peaking, nothing kind of like too much at all. Simple ukulele that's like got this like a lo-fi kind of feel to it. So really, really well done, 100%. Shining Star is definitely the mix for sure, because obviously no drums. So for like what it is, being just like one consistent melody, the mix on it is really making it for sure. It just gives that like classic VHS lo-fi radio kind of feel, definitely. So the mix is definitely a shining star, not even a question. So instrumental on point, minimalist, but totally gets the job done. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to the mix on the vocals, it's got this like raw approach, but it's not super raw, and not raw in the like the recording sense, but raw in the aspect of like it sounds very much like live and unprocessed. And I think Saint Zero did a really good job kind of pushing that like acoustic element here a lot. So I like that a lot out of Saint. I definitely think they did a good job with how they mix their vocals. But even if they did or didn't, like whoever did a good job kind of hitting that like lo-fi acoustic kind of sound for sure. Because the vocals in the instrumental kind of like just go hand in hand, not even a question. So vocal mix definitely on point, especially for this kind of track. Vocal shining star, probably the writing. I like the writing a lot. It was very visual. It was very like honest, and it was easy to like put yourself in Saint Zero's shoes and kind of just like kick back and like paint the pictures that Saint Zero was painting in their lyrics. So definitely the writing for me. All day the writing for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the mix. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, The Way We Are. This is an interesting EP kind of cover, because it's definitely like EP worthy, but just off of The Way We Are, this is like a very futuristic kind of cover as opposed to like a love ballad kind of cover. So I'd have to hear the other track just to see if this would kind of hit. But either way, it's like very much EP worthy, and definitely like it hits the Saint Zero kind of aesthetic for sure. So cover on point. Overall theme, The Way We Are. It's a very honest love ballad, man. A very, very honest love ballad. It's one of those that's like, you can totally get behind this if you have any sort of similar feelings, or you just want to hear like a comfortable kind of track, right? Because I feel like Saint Zero kind of like went above and beyond to like be very descriptive, right? Especially for like, you know, like the smells like just spaghetti, sunsets the color of cotton candy. Like those were the lines that kind of stuck out to me, that like really, like I knew that this was a true love ballad, you know what I mean? So I think Saint did a really good job kind of expressing themselves, but also kind of like being very visual with it. So well done. Huge shout out to Saint Zero. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course make sure you follow them on the Bird app on Twitter. They're approaching 2K, literally 6 away. So go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel. We upload 2 times a week, literally. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff is available over there on the channel. So go show us some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So we left off with the homie Saint Zero. Up next is the homie Aiden Jewel. Now, Aiden's an artist. We actually recently hosted a unreleased SoundCloud exclusive, so definitely go check out Wings if you haven't heard it already. Huge shout out to Aiden for letting us host that. But they submitted a track titled Mirrors with Tommy Boat. Now, Aiden's a very talented alternative vocalist, but I don't think they've been featured here on the show. If they have, it's been quite some time, but they frequently make SoundCloud Sunday for sure. But man, I don't think they've been on the show. If they have, it's been quite some time. So again, they submitted Mirrors with Tommy Boat. So let's pop this open a new tab and see what we got here. Cover's kind of crazy. One of those covers that gets crazier as like you look at it more. Okay. Let's see. When we talk in person, it's a different sound. Okay. This is crazy. Let's get into it. Aiden Jewel, Mirrors. Let's go.
Tell me I can have whatever I want. Then you say, baby, I don't wanna talk. Let me know the answer. Only have you for a minute now. When we talk in person, it's a different sound. Read me on my curses like a crystal pouch, yeah. Guess I can't complain. It's the second time today that I fell asleep. Wish I was awake for you. They gave me a reason to change for you. You always hanging out the phone. I'm telling shorty, do not fuck with my motion. When you know that you can't handle emotion. It's not damage control. I was trying to cope. Buying diamonds and gold. All this fighting gets old. We have our highs and our lows. My fantasies all alone. She crying over the phone, telling me I need to go. We go to Paris or Italy. Money don't matter to me. I've been spending it slow. That ain't a flex, so you think it is though. Spending my money on pussy is really a habit. I need to get shit in control. I've been around for minutes on hours and never once heard my name ever been spoke. But you still talking about me behind all the laundry. I trip when I could've just wrote.
Damn, man.
I just wanna wake up and make love. Even if it's fake love, it's made up, just make some valuable reason to keep me distracted. Only do better for you as my actions. Every day watching me get closer past it. Every face stopping me, you get so mad. And look at my lifespan, it's probably a fraction of what that shit could've been. Probably of when it had fallen so deep if you could've just been a friend. Look at my eyes, see the hatred, it's been a minute since I faced the feelings I have been concealing. I don't even know which version is a real one. I've been lying, trying not to break the ceiling, now it's broken. I don't even know the place to cope. I don't even know where I am to start. Been so long, yeah, you done with it, lost my spot. I can't even check my car like no more. I can't even call my mom, she knows more. All my friends done got a girl winning my age, so now it's so long. Bitch, I'm so gone, bitch, I'm faded. Don't see no more, stay sedated. Age 11 said, fuck the rap and locked out of heaven. My words are weapons. At least on the way I'll give them hell. Maybe on the way I'll get some help. Only way to save me is from myself. Man, the only way to save me is from myself.
Damn. Fuck. Wow. So this was a really great combo of a couple different styles that I really fucking enjoyed. This was awesome. This was actually like such a great collab as well. Like I feel like these two are like a really underrated duo. This is a solid duo for sure. Let's break this down. So we're gonna talk about three things. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Mirrors. So let's talk instrumental. Instrumental's fucking great, man. I love instrumentals like this, so I'm probably gonna be biased with this instrumental. But the bass is great. Simple drums, melody's awesome. Vocals sit nice. Everything cuts through nicely. The kick specifically is really solid. Yeah, no gripes with the mix at all, man. No gripes with the mix at all. One of those like super simple but super like emotional, prominent instrumentals. This prod did a really, really good fucking job. I'm big on this one a lot. Instrumental Shining Star. So, I mean, I like the drums. They're definitely great support, and they hit that like nice soft spot. But the melody kind of really set the stage for me, to be honest with you. So definitely the melody here, but the drums were a close second, and I like the structure as well. So definitely, melody. But let's talk vocals here. So, man, all right. So right off rip, a vocal mix for both Aiden and Tommy were great. Nothing clashy, too overbearing. Vocals sat really nice on the instrumental, like I said. So whoever did all the mixing did a really solid job. No gripes whatsoever. Especially for like, like a track like this where, the instrumental is relatively simple, so the vocals are going to be a lot more prominent here, and which in turn you're going to notice the vocal mix a lot more. And Aiden and both Tommy had a really solid mix, so no gripes whatsoever. So vocal mix on point. Let's talk Shining Star for the vocals. So I love the writing. I feel like writing is really fucking solid here, but flow and cadence on this kind of instrumental is crazy. Like these two took a very like, I guess you could say rap and hip hop flow, right? And wrapped it behind a very alternative kind of instrumental, which gives you this awesome kind of like blend of styles here. So it's like alternative rock, alternative hip hop kind of deal, where you can't really like box it in. And I love tracks like this. So I feel like both of them went super fucking hard, but flowing cadence kind of like stuck out to me in the aspect of listening to this track as a whole for the first time. It was something I couldn't stop paying attention to, and the writing only made it that much better, but the flowing cadence kind of like locked it in for me. So definitely flowing cadence, it's not even a question. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody, vocal solid, definitely the flowing cadence and delivery. Writing's a close second. Let's talk theme. So aesthetics, really fucking solid cover. Like I said at the start, man, like it's one of those covers that like the more you look at it, the more you kind of like see like inside the cover, and you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So yeah, no, this is really on point, and on top of that, I really like the color palette too. Like I really like the colors. Simple but effective, aesthetics on point, but overall theme. So Mirrors is kind of an interesting title here because both Aiden and Tommy talk about kind of dealing with themselves and like what they need to do better as people, as lovers, as fucking human beings, right? And most oftentimes when you look in the mirror, you see things that you do and don't like, and you see things that you need to change and you want to change. And I feel like Mirrors was a very good title for this track. You know what I mean? Because they both kind of said some real ass shit in a very interesting way. You know what I mean? And for those that this song speaks to, you'll get it. And then for those that kind of just like enjoy the sonic part to this, you'll get it eventually. You know what I mean? But this one definitely like jumps out at you for sure as far as like a consistent theme goes. So well done, my friends. So huge shout out to Aiden. Thank you so much for the submission. And make sure you follow them on SoundCloud. Literally 3 follows away from 420. And of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. 20 follows away from 400. Two fire milestones. What? Go show Aiden some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 subaroonies, my friends. We're quite literally uploading 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there on the channel. So make sure you go show the channel and these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. So let's get it. Up next, we got the homie, Mikey Trademark. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Mikey here on the Music Mondays podcast, man. Definitely been some months for sure, but Mikey's a frequent SoundCloud Sunday placement for sure, but a very talented producer, vocalist, and artist in general. Submitted a track titled Forever. Let's see what we got here, chap. Pop this open in a new Tabaroonie. This is off the project titled New with Mikey Trademark. So we got about a 14 song banger right here. Okay. Damn. All right. So let's hear. Which one was it? Forever is what they submitted with Cryberry Lotto and Kyle trying to dip. All right. Let's get into it. Mikey Trademark, Forever.
Used to bleed on them legs, babe. The little AC, the time is just a concept. Bitch, I'm living through those seats. By my privates, baby. So I'm used to demons. I'm from the bottom, baby. So I'm used to schemes. I've been doing all this shit for a reason. Baby, I'll be doing this shit for the team. All my niggas slide with them beans. I'ma do this shit till it's on my.
Can't mistake the eyes, no matter what I try. Better than a milkshake, triple thick with fries. How many guys you got addicted with replies? But it's just you and I, we getting lifted, feeling high. Spend my life searching
What the fuck?
for a fine person to spend my time with and lift me out of my hurting. I don't own you, but you feel like my everything, even if I don't believe in diamonds or a wedding ring.
This shit is forever. Hey, this shit is forever. I mean, this shit forever. This shit
That was crazy. That was really, really fucking crazy, bro. That was such a trip to listen to. I felt like I was on another fucking planet, bro. Holy shit. But Mikey's known to have that, like, very, like, ethereal kind of, like, cyber kind of sounds. So, not really a shocker. You know what I mean? That's definitely Mikey's signature, 100%. So let's break this one down. So we're gonna talk about three things here. So we're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. And we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Forever. So let's talk instrumental. This is a very, 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 very ethereal instrumental. Like, very fucking ethereal, man. So therefore the mix has to be. And the mix is definitely right up there. It brings this to like a very like ambient, liminal spaces kind of like theme but feel to it as well. So for what this mix is, really solid. Really, really solid. Especially with everybody kind of like being like surrounded by autotune and kind of like going super in on that. I definitely feel like the mix is really on point, especially when it comes to the instrumental. So instrumental mix, solid. Instrumental Shining Star. Probably the mix, to be honest with you, because it wasn't a very like drum sound centered kind of instrumental. It was a very like I said, like ambient, almost like pad synth filled instrumental. So the mix kind of had to be on point, and I definitely fuck with the mix here a lot. Just because it needed to be on point. It just needed to be, for sure. So the instrumental solid. Shining Star definitely the mix. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes down to the mix, everybody really did a good job kind of matching the ethereal, kind of like cyber esque sound. Definitely did. Definitely fucking did, for sure. Especially with Mikey's mix, and like everybody else's kind of followed suit, but Mikey's mix in particular really kind of like put it over the edge for like cyber ambient ethereal kind of feels, without a doubt. So vocal mix on point, especially for like what it is, right? Like it's mixed to sound good on this track, right? Because this isn't a mix that, you know, you can one size fits all kind of shit. This is definitely one that's like very specific for this track. So vocal mix solid, vocal Shining Star. Probably the structure. I like how everything was laid out. I like how everybody kind of like followed through with one another, and everybody else was kind of like very much on the same page here. So definitely the structure. I like the structure a lot. So instrumental solid, definitely the mix. Vocal solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk theme. So when it comes to the aesthetics here, this is a cover for a whole project, a 14-track project to be exact. So, perfect. I mean, the thing that strikes me about this the most is how much this kind of like looks like Mikey's sound. Mikey has this very like futuristic, like I said, like cyber, ethereal, ambient sound, and covers like this easily like are what I picture as a listener for something like these tracks for sure. So not only is it like on point, but very album worthy as well. And I like the color palette. And plus this parental advisory is pretty rare. I just want to say that I feel like nobody uses this one. So shouts out Mikey for that. But overall theme, realistically, forever. You know what I mean? Like it's not a very like crazy kind of like crazy deep meaningful theme. It's very much like at face value, this shit is forever, and then kind of relating other things in your life that should be and can be and will be forever. You know what I mean? So it's a very face value kind of track, and I think more of the meaning lies in the sound and the sound design and the structure of the song. Not even a question. So well done, Mikey. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Mikey on Twitter. They are 10 away from 30. I know this is their new account, so go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 220 sub-roonies, my friends. And of course, we upload 2 times a week. Literally every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists and the channel some love, my friends. And if you already have, thank you for showing some love to the channel. We appreciate you. Up next, we have a first time submitting artist, Just Saya, aka Saya. An artiste. Okay. And they submitted a track titled Survived. Alright, let's see what we got. First time submitting artists, so these are always fun. We get to dive in and really see what they're all about without any expectations. It's always a surprise. But this is a 15-song album. Let's go. Called It's Still Love. I like the cover a lot too. Got a lot of fucking May 26th of this year. Okay. Let's get into it. They submitted Survived. Yeah. All right. So let's check this out, my friends. First time submitting artist Saya, Survived.
Gotta look deep while I paint these feelings through a pen and pad. I was looking down and almost died, no sign of lily pads. Would've hit that slab of payment, would've made my mama sad. Same day I ain't get treated, I had a heart attack. Night before we had a couple drinks and me and Bay had left to sleep. If I recall too, I had just came down off that ecstasy. That and some weed resulted in a lack of sleep. Telling me what I want while my life is a catastrophe. Jay was sleeping with Meg and eviction was in backdrop scene. Bay was telling me things that Meg would say while them niggas sleep. Put it all on me and he could easily walk free. And all your friends hate you when you treat them like family. Arguments about this say I'm thoughtless each and every week. We ain't close enough, but you closer than the air I breathe. Twin beds ain't enough space for me to focus on my needs. Nymphomaniacal, feel so powerful when on her knees. Tyrannical when I was with her, my beauty drama queen. Everybody treat you different when you working toward your dreams. Knee was pulling strings, manipulating every single thing. They once turn to fake ones when you realize everything they did. Now I don't go to Laffy, UL failed another black team. Change scenes, now I'm back in the city where the gas scream, my black screen. Now nigga coming back, speeding, going where they can't catch me. Like I'm on my road and it's been taking me for a ride. Nothing but Henny and Dulce on my mind. Inject the cognac and marijuana straight to my mind. Every single day was so fucked, but I survived. My life just like roller coaster taking you for a ride. Shadow boxing my demons, so tired of this fight. Every single day was so fucked, so I love the night. Grateful that I got through the day, yeah, I survived. Got back home and I got back strong. Back in the gym, bench press my goals. Think my chips saying fuck those. Country potatoes, ghetto fabulous, turn up that nose. But bitch, you think your girlfriend cheats, that might not even be your baby. But it's the love, grew up with it, and you cannot replace it. You run yourself to the pavement, I'm taking off in my spaceship trajectory, you can't trace it. You acting foul, bro, been flagrant. My closest friends turn to haters. You acting so damn negative, I turn it to motivation, vision. I'm elevating past what you said I could take on. I'm feeling like bitch, cause I stay gone. I'm an optimist at my prime, y'all transform to Decepticon. Turns out Megas is short for Megan, stood for Megatron. Saying everything you want, but I don't need to carry on another song, trying to blow my fucking high. Fuck this shit, man.
Okay.
Saying I'm on my road and it's been taking me for a ride. Nothing but Henny and Dulce on my mind. Inject the cognac and marijuana straight to my mind. Every single day was so fucked, but I survived. My life just like roller coaster taking you for a ride. Shadow boxing my demons, so tired of this fight. Every single day was so fucked, so I love the night. Grateful that I got through the day, yeah, I survived.
Wow. What an interesting track. Very, very interesting. Switching up the flows a lot. Writing was solid. There's a lot of like really cool points about this. Let's break it down. So let's see here. We're gonna talk about three things. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Survived. So, let's talk instrumental. So let's talk about the mix. Mix is great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums are solid. Sound selection solid. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Everything's nice and level. A very tight mix. Is definitely no complaints here at all. No gripes. Nothing I really noticed that was like out of whack. Not at all. Instrumental mix definitely on point. Definitely on point. Instrumental shining star. Probably the drums. The drums had this like storytelling kind of feel. It was almost like the drums were telling a story during this track as well. The melody is definitely a close second. I like the structure too, but the drums are like very memorable for me. I'm not sure why. But I definitely like the drum selection as well. And it just felt like they were like telling a story for some reason. But drums all day. Definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. So when it comes to the vocal mix, this is a great mix. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Everything cuts through nicely. Not like overly processed, but it's not raw either. It's got that good middle ground where I think they sound really solid on this instrumental, without a doubt. So a vocal mix definitely on point. Vocal shining star. So initially I was gonna say flow and cadence, but as the song went on, it's definitely writing. It's definitely fucking writing, bro. The writing was just like, yo, okay. It was very much like a storytelling kind of song, especially for like a first time submitting artist. It was nice to like be put in somebody's shoes, you know, that we haven't heard yet here on the show. So love that. Yeah, definitely writing. Definitely writing. Flow and cadence close second, but writing's definitely a shining star for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing. Let's talk theme. So this cover is actually really fucking crazy. It looks like two photos of the same spot, and one's at night and one's during the day, or like even like the evening. And you have It's Still Love, and then the parental advisory bottom right. Like, bro, this one's actually kind of crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a cover like this. Like, I mean, I probably have, but like just in a different style. But the way that this is like right in front of your face is like really on point. You know what I mean? Like really, really fucking on point. So album worthy and project worthy, absolutely. But aesthetically pleasing as well. I just really like the concept for sure. So overall theme of Survived. So I mean, Saya kind of talks about a couple different struggles throughout their life, but it ultimately kind of comes down to those dark times and kind of like surviving the day. You know what I mean? And like coming home at night and you're like, holy shit, I just like survived. You know what I mean? Like I just made it through. You know what I mean? Like everybody has that like dark period during their life, and some last longer than others, and then you look back on it and you're like, holy shit, I actually fucking survived that. You know what I mean? And they touch on a couple different things, but for the most part, I think Sai did a really good job kind of describing that feeling, you know? Not even a question. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Thank you so much for this. Make sure you follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They're approaching 960, quite literally 6 away. Go show them some love on the bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 220 subscribers on the main channel, my friends. We literally upload 2 times a week, man. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show us some love on the channel and show these artists some love. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So it looks like we have time for one more submission. And it's none other than the homie Bloodcat. And Bloodcat's had a very up and down 2023, but nonetheless, they're still grinding, and I think that's very tippable. A very talented vocalist submitted Ice on My Wrist, like a Fitbit, from 2017. But it looks like this dropped in 2023. When did this drop? October 6th, 2023. So, okay. Bloodcat keeping up with the fucking, with the Spotify as well. Okay, I love that. Well done. Yeah, so this is just a Lucy here on October 6th, minute 32. Let's get into it. Bloodcat, Ice on My Wrist like a Fitbit, 2017. Let's go.
Gusher gang, Gusher gang, Hello, Shark, Woo, 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 woo. Ice on my wrist like a Fitbit, 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 Wipe through his splits on my dick, 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 I've been dreaming of a brand new Bugatti, call me Freddy Cruiser, yeah. I've been feeling on a brand new thotty, this time I won't lose her, no, I won't lose her, yeah. I've been dreaming of a brand new Bugatti, probably got
Okay.
a lottie, stop me dropping bodies, that's my fucking hobby, Doug can spot me, fucking Robbie, coughing, take a hit, don't hit nobody, get nobody, hear my name and hear nobody, Ice on my wrist like a Fitbit, Ice on my wrist like a Fitbit, Ice on my wrist like a Fitbit, Ice on my wrist like a Fitbit,
What the fuck?
Wipe through his splits on my dick, Wipe through his splits
Holy
on my dick,
shit.
Wipe through his splits on my dick, Wipe through his splits on my dick,
Unreal. Unfucking real. Let's fucking go, Bloodcat. Holy shit, man. All right. Holy is right, my friend. All right, let's break this down. So this is gonna be a fun one to break down because this is from 2017, but it aged like really well, especially now with like what Bloodcat's putting out for a lot of their like newer sounds. This just aged like fine wine for sure. Like it's just aged great. Um, so let's break this one down. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Ice on My Wrist Like a Fitbit. Now that flow's gonna be stuck in my fucking head. Um, so let's talk instrumental. Mix is fucking great. Nothing clashing, too overbearing at all. I like the way the vocals sit. Drums fucking knock. Everything cuts through nicely. Everything's nice and level. I have no gripes with this instrumental mix at all. Definitely took the more simple approach, but you didn't really need too much going on in this instrumental because the 808 kind of like leads the way, and Bloodcat kind of picked up the rest, which is like really fucking solid. So, instrumental mix very much on point. Hmm. Instrumental shining star, probably the drums. Probably the drums. The melody is definitely like rememberable, but the drums were like just right up there, bro. Especially the 808 was perfect. The 808 was definitely perfect. So instrumental solid, definitely the 808. Let's talk vocals here. So vocal mix is really solid, especially for like a 2017 track. I mean, this very well could have been remastered, but even if it was or wasn't, I still think for an older track, probably on like older gear and equipment, this sounds really fucking solid. You know what I mean? 2017 was like fucking what, 6 years ago, bro? Like, come on. You know what I mean? So, mix is great. Like the mix is great for what it is, man. Again, vocals are solid, nothing clashing too overbearing. Bloodcat doesn't sound like overly processed, but like doesn't sound too raw either. So I definitely feel like the vocals were like hitting that like nice middle ground for sure. So mix definitely on point. Vocal shining star, probably the flow and cadence. Probably the fucking flow and cadence. I'm not gonna lie, the flow and cadence was like really right up there for me, just because it was so easy to like get stuck in your head and like be catchy. But the writing was definitely close second. But flow and cadence and delivery was like really solid, especially for like that era of like super 808 heavy music with like the Smoke Perp, Lil Pump kind of era. Um, this fits right in, man. This fits right fucking in. But I feel like the flow and cadence kind of put this over for me in terms of vocals for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Overall theme, Ice on My Wrist Like a Fitbit. Aesthetics. I mean, iced out cat. Like, what could you really want more for this cover, right? Like the cat is quite literally iced the fuck out. Like, this one's definitely fucking solid. Like 100% fucking solid for sure. Definitely single worthy, and definitely like relate to the track as well. Um, Overall theme, quite literally the title. Ice on My Wrist Like a Fitbit. Do you know what I mean? And then Bloodcat's kind of talking about other like smaller flexes throughout the whole track, right? And I definitely feel like Bloodcat was on a almost like a freestyle kind of style here, but not really. Definitely put a little bit of elbow grease behind this. Definitely made it something worthwhile instead of just like a freestyle. Um, but I think this says a lot for like where Bloodcat went for the rest of their sound and like the following years for sure. I think Bloodcat did a really good job kind of developing their style after this, 100%. Well done, man. Well fucking done. Huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you follow Bloodcat on Spotify. And of course, make sure you follow Bloodcat on Twitter. They're literally 5 follows away from 10. That's their alt account. Go show them some love on the Bird app, my friends. So, with that said, you guys know the motherfucking drill. Make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. Every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And we upload 2 times a week, man. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, whole lot of good stuff's available over there. So go show these artists on the channel some love. If you already have, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that was our last submission of the night, my friends. We are about to hit our 4-hour show limit. So again, huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight and showed love. You guys are amazing. Let's close it out. Let's talk about what's coming for Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so and all that good stuff. So huge shout out to everybody that submitted and came through tonight. Huge shout out to everybody under this week's tweet. Huge shout out to H2H, Orch, King Mark, Heavy, Filter, Jordan Andrew, Insomniac, Braden, Little Teflon, Offspring, Saint Zero, Aiden, Mikey, Saya, Bloodcat, Thomas, Blank, Childs, Juzo, EB Studios, JC, Great Truck, Miriam, Dubspeed, Kells, Not Lil Poe, and that's about it. Huge shout out to all you guys for all of your submissions. Thank you, my friends. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Huge shout out to everybody that came through tonight and showed love in tonight's stream. Quite literally, huge shout out to all of you guys for fucking hanging out tonight. Huge shout out to Blank Thought, Rekill, Orch Music, Vac, Tarek, Mark, thank you so much for the motherfucking Twitch Prime for I don't even know how long because the notification didn't even pop up, but thank you so much for the Primer, Mark. Appreciate you, King. Orch Music, thank you so much for the follow as well. You actually followed when I was offline, so thank you for that as well. And anybody else that lurked and chilled throughout the night, thank you. You guys are fucking amazing. Let's get it, baby. Like, let's fucking go. That was an amazing show. So you guys know the drill. We went through pretty much everything at the start of the show. Expect brand new weekly stuff this week. A new graphic design announcement. Trying to pick up a couple staff members. Our usual YouTube and weekly stuff will stay up to date. Couple of other content pieces I want to get out for the rest of the week, but you guys know the motherfucking drill. Make sure you follow Music Mondays at all Music Mondays on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, TikTok, literally everywhere that you use social media. Go follow us, man. For the latest updates and all that good jazz. If you're watching this live, submissions will open tomorrow for episode 143. If you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are already open. Go check the tweet. And make sure you stream the Music Mondays podcast on all platforms. Anchor.fm/allmusicmondays for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. Make sure you follow me at ZomSlays. Make sure you follow the channel, follow and subscribe below. All socials, all the good stuff linked down below. I love you guys. Take care. It's your boy ZomSlays. And we'll see you next week for episode 143. Let's go.